is no terrible way to win. There is only winning.
Let me drive. I will make a fool out of you.
Every one of us has to find a reason to do this. You do it because you're driven.
I was beginning to think I'd never be anything more than a piston-happy, lead-foot punk. Then this starts to happen.
Somebody put it in your mind you gotta be perfect every time out or you're a failure. Well, forget that. Just forget it.
You ready to put away your toys and grow up? Are you ready to make more money in 1 year than your father made in his whole life? Are you ready to become a real race car driver?
When I won it was probably the last time I ever felt pure victory.
Because I'm quicker than all of you.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
I mean, hell, isn't that what we're in this for? To stare death in the face and to cheat it? Come on, there's nobility in that. It's like being knights.
No pressure, nobody breathing down my back, just driving because I left it pure.
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing is important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
I just hope when you do, that I'm there to see it.
Racing. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Win or lose, put up or shut up.
Fine. Then let's race.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Jacques Villeneuve, you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Bruno Senna, you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Chris Hoy and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
You're listening to Race Day Live on Downforce UK, brought to you by Clapham North MOT, Motorsport Days Live, Stopwatch Hospitality and Trade Price Cars.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have waited long enough. It is time for the grand finals of the 2020 Dubai O-Plate. We are ready for action. We are around the world via Downforce Radio, and it is going to be an absolutely fantastic battle as we are here for the cadets and rookies as they make their way to the starting grid. The drivers' parade will be the first point of order. All of the competitors are making their way to the starting grid now, as they are obviously going to be in their grid formation. They come to the grid in reverse grid formation to make it easier to line up in position on the starting grid. And it is going to be an absolutely sensational final race. These drivers have come from far and wide around the globe, not just from here in the Middle East, but they have travelled from Europe, from North and South America, from Asia to Africa to Australasia, as well as here in the Middle East. And they are absolutely rip-roaring, ready to go for an absolutely stunning final race. There have been so many contenders that have the opportunity to come through and grab the Dubai O-Plate, but they have got so much support. The stands are absolutely ram-packed with spectators who are getting ready for the last race of the week. This has been the one that they've all been building up to, and kart racers in X30 Persuasion in the Middle East, for them, this is their Indy 500. This is the race that will determine how well their season is going to begin, not just here in the Emirates, but on the world stage. The winner of this race will go on to represent their country at the IAMI International Finals 9 months from now. And of course, the winner will also be represented by George Gibbons Motorsport in a fully funded drive at that event. It is a truly fantastic opportunity for each one of these youngsters. This is the race that they have been dreaming about for the last few weeks, and they oh so want to win. It's tough, it's close, it's ultra competitive, but you're going to see an absolutely thrilling battle once the checkered flag flies. So obviously the drivers are now making their way to their positions on the grid, and they're going to have a very tough and busy day at the office to get to that point. Adam Alajari making his way to the grid, starting from the front row of the grid on the outside line for the first corner. And of course our pole sitter, Rashid Al-Daheri, having had a very impressive performance so far. And he will take the pole position after a brilliant win in the pre-final from the inside line. So we will be focusing on these drivers as they make their way forward. Apologies if the sound starts to go a little bit choppy on the main grid. We're going to ask the drivers to come forward for the photograph on the main start-finish straight. All of the drivers in full race kit. Bring the helmets forward and we will line the helmets up along the timing beacon in a long formation, and the drivers will all be photographed along the white line here. My apologies. So the helmets will all be here in position on the white line along the start finish straight, and the drivers will be here for our drivers parade. It's a wonderful build up to this fantastic event, and these competitors of course have come from far and wide around the world. So Rashid Al-Daheri starts the ball rolling by being at the front end of the field. The drivers will have to come through, and obviously be in position for their drivers' parade. So all drivers can bring themselves to the edge of the circuit where they will have the photograph from the drivers' parade. A note to all mechanics as well, you can leave the trolleys out to the side, of course, but you need to make sure that the pit lane is clear. So make sure that the pit lane itself is actually clear in case we need to use it during the race. So the drivers need to all be lined up with the helmets on the white lines. So the helmets all need to be along the white line and drivers stood behind them. Nice and straightforward. Harry Hadam's got the right idea. A few of these guys are not quite sure what a white line is. You need to be stood a little bit further back, guys. The helmets need to be on the white line. You guys need to be stood just behind the helmets. There we go. So all of them now getting into position. And what a fantastic spectacle. All of these drivers from all around the world, between the ages of 8 and 12, of course, these cadet racers. Absolutely fantastic week they have had so far. More of the drivers coming forward, of course. They've helped their mechanics to put their carts into position, and now they will join the photograph formation. Looks like a few of them have decided that the white line's not for them. Gather around a little bit further down, guys. Need to move down the line. There's still an entire length of straight over that way. Not everybody, just the ones who are already in position. They're fine. The ones who are already in position, your helmet needs to be on the white line. Anyone that isn't on a white line needs to be. So bring the drivers further down. Fair play to these young cadets. They've not really done this very many times, but they're certainly going to get used to the idea. The first stepping stone to a truly major international career. An absolutely fantastic picture we're going to have with all of the competitors. From all around the world they have come, representing their country and their brands. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, your cadet grid for 2020 for the Dubai O-Plate. Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. They are ready to represent their race teams and their names and their families. There is your grid for the Dubai O-Plate 2020 Cadets and Rookies grid. What a fantastic grid. Just think, there could be a handful of Formula 1, Le Mans 24 Hours or Indy 500 drivers in this grid. One absolutely fantastic array of youngsters. Great talent from all over the world. A fantastic bunch of racers, and they are going to go to battle one more time today. The winner of this race will come through as our 2020 Dubai O-Plate race winner. So, a mighty congratulations to all those of you for getting this far. You've put in an absolutely amazing effort on your first major international event of 2020. But now it is time to race. I'm going to wander over and see if I can grab a word with a couple of the drivers as they get themselves back to their carts. And obviously it's going to be a very busy grid to get to that point. I'll have a quick word with the man on pole position before his helmet goes on. Rashid El Daheri, good to see you, and an absolutely fantastic performance in the earlier pre-final. You just drove away from the field. Just tell us what the prep is like for this last race.
Well, I'm going to try to do my best, try to always improve, and just hope for the best.
And obviously it's going to be a much longer race than the previous races, but you've been competing in many different fields recently, so that gives you plenty of opportunities to go for the big show.
Yeah, more laps, more time to think and to evaluate and try to get better in the race positions.
Sounds like a good composed position. Go and win your 5th O-Plate. Good luck.
Thanks.
He will be a record breaker if he does so, of course. No one else has won 5 O-Plates at Dubai. He might well be the first to do it. Across from him, though, is Adam Al-Ajari. Adam, it's been a tough race to get to this point, but here you are on the front row. Could be a very interesting race ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I hope for a good result.
It looks like it could be quite tough, but you've already led a few times over the week. Do you think you have what it takes to go get him?
Yeah, definitely.
Good man. Have a great race. A few more drivers in the field. They're obviously going to find it very, very competitive up at the front end. And I think we are now just a couple of minutes away from the start. Federico Al Rafai on the inside line of the second row. Hamza Al Fayez having stormed his way back from 22nd on the original grid to P4. He is now very much in contention for this Dubai O-Plate. There could be some very interesting stories to tell here from this race. Harry Hannam from 5th position on the grid is also one to keep an eye on. He stormed his way through several drivers in that previous race. And of course, the Italian star, Filippo Parmigiani, lining up in 6th on the grid on the outside of the 3rd row. He is definitely a podium contender, if not the whole thing. So it'll be interesting to see how well he can compete. It's time for me to leave the grid, otherwise you won't have a commentator for the race. But it's going to be an absolutely fantastic battle. The drivers are left with their mechanics. 2 minutes to the start. So the mechanics are just giving their drivers one final pep talk as they get ready for race action. But what a spectacle it has been thus far. The competitors are still doing an absolutely brilliant job out there. And it all comes down to this last race. They have been building up to it. They have been prepping and working very hard to get up to this phase. And now they are ready for action. And what a race it's going to be. The competitors are going to make their way through. I need to come through. I need to come out. So the drivers are getting ready for the start of their final race of the week. The Dubai O-Plate in the cadets here at the Dubai Kartdrome. And what a spectacular event it has been for them. They have been working tooth and nail all the way through the week. The drivers' prep has been incredibly strong. But in the heart of Dubai Motor City, these young men and women have been racing and working so hard over the course of the week. But this is the race that they have all been trying to win. This is the race that they have been fighting for, and the race that they want to get the victory in. So the tension rises as the drivers are in their final positions. And we're going to have a pretty spectacular show now. The young drivers are in their positions, ready for the start of a spectacular final race. Engines come on. And so now we get to go racing. And boy, what a race it will be. The grand final of the 2020 Dubai O-Plate begins. The drivers go around on their formation lap. And now it is time for battle. Here's the grid in full. Rashid Al-Bahari and Adam Al-Ajari on the front row from Federico Al-Rifai and Hamza Al-Fayez. Then it's Harry Hannam and Filippo Parmigiani from Matteo Quintarelli and Oliver Naylor. Then Seb Murray and Benjamin Wade, Liverwave and Sambudla and Max Dexter. Then it is Ryan Nagel and Oscar Lambert with Leo Nilsson and Nicholas Matthews from Sultan Kadali and Dom Karkinen. Then Daniel Kalea and Randy Nader from Zain El Hamosani and Shivali Sinya. Then Max Meyer, Ty Magia, Arian Shirodka and Enzo Pedraza. A very tough battle in front of us. Rashid Al-Dahari has been the class of the field for most of the weekend, but it's not done yet. Adam Al-Ajari still has a very strong ticket for this battle on the front row of the starting grid. He will definitely be a contender. Federico Al-Rifai from 3rd position on the grid is sure to be fighting fit all the way through this race. Then it is Hamza Al-Fayez on the outside of that row. We'll see some truly magical battles from the contenders in this race. And we're going to see them battling away all the way throughout. An absolutely spectacular battle awaits us. The competitors are wanting to charge right from the start. 2 formation laps around to give them a chance to warm up the tyres and brakes to the optimum temperature. And then we can go racing. A very tough race awaits them as the competitors are now in full flow and in position to battle for victory. 16 laps around the Dubai Kartdrome circuit, the longest race of the week for our cadets. But this is the race they all came to win. Rashid Al-Dahari, Adam Al-Ajari, Federico Al-Rifai, Hamza Al-Fayez, Harry Hannam, Filippo Parmigiani, Matteo Quintarelli, Oliver Naylor, Seb Murray and Benjamin Wade in the top 10. Then it's Liverwave Sambudla from Max Dexter, Ryan Nagel and Oscar Lambert, Leo Nilsson and Nicholas Matthews, Sultan Kadali trying to fight his way back, and then Dom Karkinen alongside Daniel Kalea and Randy Nader from Zain El Hamosani, Shivali Sinya, Max Meyer, Ty Magia, Arian Shirodka and Enzo Pedraza. They are in formation. 16 laps of racing await us as the drivers are now fully in formation. They'll come out of the final turn. Rashid Al-Dahari on the inside line, Adam Al-Ajari on the outside line, and they need to make a good start of this one as they come down the tram lines. Looks like an absolute flyer, and away we go. Absolute cracker from Rashid Al-Dahari, and up the inside already. They're going round again. It is judged to be a false start. Well, the tension was already very tight, but obviously the tail end of the field was a little too far behind the front end of the field, so they decided to go round a second time. So, if the tension wasn't already quite high pitch, they have now got to go around for another formation lap. Rashid Al-Daheri clearly wanting to get the best possible start. Looked like he'd nailed it initially off the line. Unfortunately, the rest of the field hadn't quite gone with him. So this is going to be a very tough battle, but the drivers are already in position as they will get started from the front end of the field. Who knows what's going to happen from here on out? Rashid Al-Daheri has been controlling the pace for the entirety of the weekend, but don't forget that the man starting fourth on the grid, Hamza Al-Fayez, was originally fastest in qualifying, had it taken away from him on a technicality, and has had to fight his way through. From 22nd in the pre-final grid, he fought his way to fourth. So can he make the victory? It would be one of the biggest upsets in Dubai O-Plate history if he can finish the job. But Rashid Al-Daheri from the front row of the grid wants to win his fifth Dubai O-Plate. That will be a new record. Adam Al-Ajari wants to get his first from the outside line of the front row of the grid. And keep an eye on Federico Al-Rifai, the Italian. He's got a great chance as well. A much stronger start this time as they are much more controlled. Is this going to be a perfect start? It is, and away we go. Cracking start from Rashid Al-Daheri as he charges his way forward. The 171 tucks in behind. That's Federico Al-Rifai and a couple of drivers towards the back, not quite able to make the best of starts. Randy Nadir and Shivali Senior, I think it was, a little bit sluggish, but out in front, no major problems for Rashid Al-Daheri off the start, got a perfect getaway.
You're listening to Downforce Radio.
And obviously that means he's got a great chance to move forward.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris.
So we're going to see some pretty spectacular battles as they come underneath the bridge for the first time. Rashid Al-Daheri with a very tough task on his hands to try and get his fifth Dubai O-Plate victory won. In second place, that's Harry Hannam. My word, what a start from Harry Hannam it's been. He's now in a P2 in front of Federico Al-Fari, and now he's got a chance. So Rashid Al-Daheri leads. Harry Hannam is second. Federico Al-Rifai in third. Fourth position, that looks like Parmigiani has made a terrific start. So he is there in position. Hamza Al-Fayez is down to sixth position, tucked up behind one of the GGM carts. That could even be Murray, you know. He's had an absolute flyer of a start. The 193, in fact, is Quintarelli. So it's Al-Daheri from Hannam, Al-Rifai, Parmigiani, Quintarelli and Al-Farez. Adam Al-Ajari is way down in seventh place off the start. So not the best of getaways. Then it is Livervay Sambudla, Seb Murray, Oliver Naylor in the top 10 from Benjamin Wade and Max Dexter. Then Nicholas Matthews, Ryan Nagel, Oscar Lambert, Zain El Hamosani from Kadali, Nielsen, Shirodka, Nada, Kakkonen, Kilaha, Murray, Mejia, Sinya and Pedraza. They come off the turns in the first sector underneath the bridge once more, and Rashid Al-Daheri going well in front of Harry Hannam in second place from Federico Al-Rifai. Fourth position is still a very tough battle because we've got Parmigiani in front of Quintarelli and Al-Farez. So Al-Fayez down to sixth position off the initial start, still with a bit of battling to go though, but he's going to try his best to move up into fifth position in the hairpin. He's there. Al-Fayez in a P5. Fantastic getaway from the leading three though. Rashid Al-Daheri out in front. Second place, a very wayward Harry Hannam, goodness me, under massive pressure from Federico Al-Rifai. Parmigiani is fourth, Hamza Al-Fayez in fifth position. But is this going to be the fairy tale race victory? Or is he going to have a very tough fight on his hands? 14 laps to go. Rashid Al-Daheri, 103.9. Fastest lap of the race thus far. And still they continue to battle away. This is going to be a very tough battle for all of the competitors. They know what's at stake. They know how tricky it's going to be. So obviously the drivers will be putting in an absolute rout. They've got to do the best they possibly can to keep it together. But Rashid Al-Daheri still out in front. Harry Hannam is closing up though, with cooperation from Federico Al-Rifai. 1, 2 and 3 very close indeed. Harry Hannam with a great chance to win the Dubai O-Plate. He's looking very strong and solid at the moment. But Rashid Al-Daheri continues his pace out in front. And there's some good battles at the inside. Oh, goodness me. Hamza Al-Fayez into fourth position. Parmigiani tried to fight back, and now he's into the clutches of his countryman Quintarelli. So Al-Fayez in a fourth position down the main straight as he closes away. He's got to try and catch up to the leading trio now. And up the inside, Parmigiani going to make the bid to get past Al-Fayez on the inside, and he's through. Al-Fayez drops down into fifth position. Manages to save his bacon from Quintarelli. And there's an absolute dogfight behind of Sambudla, Murray, Naylor and Dexter. 4 of them battling for the last places in the top 10. What a terrific race it is turning out to be. Rashid Al-Daheri from Harry Hannam and Federico Al-Rifai. Still they come out for the end of the first sector, under the bridge. Harry Hannam tucked up behind our race leader, getting much closer to him as well though. 4th is Parmigiani, 5th is Alfayez, 6th is Quintarelli. So a major battle now ensuing around this circuit. Side by side further back, a couple of drivers deciding that the chicane can be too wide, but only in cadets and only if you're very brave.
Are you ready to make more
Al-Daheri, Hannam, Al-Rifai, Parmigiani, Al-Fayez, and in 6th place it is Quintarelli.
The last time I ever felt pure victory.
Absolutely terrific racing up on the front end of the field. Lap 4 completed. That means we have a full 12 to go. So we are a quarter of the way through the race, and that is a very, very difficult place to be if you're in the midfield battling away the position. Looks like we got a major squabble going on for 4th position. I think that was a move from Quintarelli to try and take on Parmigiani. Oh, Quintarelli's fallen a long way down the order from the look of things actually. It's now Adam Al-Ajari that's getting back into contention. He's there in 6th position behind Hamza Al-Fayez, with Filippo Parmigiani still in 4th for the time being. Under the bridge, the leaders are 1, 2 and 3 the same as they were. Parmigiani, Al-Fayez, and now Adam Al-Ajari in 6th position. Al-Fayez trying to go round the outside of Parmigiani. That is brave in the second hairpin after the chicane, but he wants to make his switch back. He's going to try and get for the move on the back straight. Parmigiani holding the place and protecting the inside line. Looks like there's 2 races in one here. Oh, and that was a move from Al-Ajari to try and get back past Al-Fayez. Al-Fayez holds him at bay and protects 5th position. Harry Hannam, though, is still right in behind our race leader, Rashid Al-Daheri. But these guys can't afford to give up in the fight for 4th position, because you never know what's going to happen to the 3 guys up front. Harry Hannam has got Rashid Al-Daheri, the race leader, in his sights, and he just needs to count down the laps and stick with him like glue. You never know what's going to happen in this race. If he can pull out a decent enough gap, there's still a good chance that he can move his way further forward. 11 laps to go. The fastest lap of the race is from Harry Hannam as he closes up on the man in front. Rashid Al-Daheri is going to have a big job to keep Harry Hannam at bay the way he's currently pushing. Federico Al-Rifai still 3rd. 4th is Parmigiani. 5th is Hamza Al-Fayez. 6th is Adam Al-Ajari. And still they battle away. Hamza Al-Fayez having another crack at Parmigiani down the back straight. Hannam not quite close enough to go for the leader, Al-Daheri. Parmigiani protects from Hamza Al-Fayez. Al-Fayez is trying to get there. He makes the switch back on the outside. Parmigiani to defend the position. Absolutely amazing race going on for 4th place now. The leading 3 still together, but Al-Fayez is getting dialed in behind Parmigiani. He's trying to make the move to go through. Parmigiani protects enough through the first corner. But can he make his bid into turn 1? Yes! Hamza Al-Fayez in 4th. Good overtake there from the Jordanian. He runs a little bit wide on the exit, might be able to get it back on the bridge. Brilliant racecraft here between these 3. Al-Fayez, Parmigiani and Adam Al-Ajari. Oliver Naylor's in the mix there as well in 7th from Louvois Sanbudla, Seb Murray, Max Dexter and Matteo Quintarelli all in the mix. So the top 3 are clear. Rashid Al-Daheri, Harry Hannam and Federico Al-Rifai. Those 3 look like they're going to be contesting the victory. Side by side again. And that's Al-Ajari through in a 5th position in front of Hamza Al-Fayez. As desperately trying to protect it is Parmigiani. Parmigiani protects the place. He's still in 4th, only just. And now Adam Al-Ajari is going to try and make the bid to get through. It's going to be tough for 4th position. That's where the real race is. The leading 3 are well clear and together. So it looks like it's a 3-driver race, this one. Parmigiani is holding up the field big time. 5th place is the treble one of Adam Al-Ajari. Can he get through? Hamza Al-Fayez is still there in 6th position from the 165 of Louvois Sanbudla. The South African is doing an absolutely heroic job here, moving his way up into 7th place. Rashid Al-Daheri is now the fastest man on track as he continues to stretch out the gap. He's done a lot of good work over the last 18 months on the international scene. He's come back to his native Middle East, and here he is out in front, gunning for Dubai O-Plate number 5. Nobody's won 5 O-Plates, but Rashid Al-Daheri might be the man to get the job done. In 4th position, there's an absolute dogfight, and Hamza Al-Fayez is back into 5th position in front of Al-Ajari, and that's Louvois Sanbudla, who's been able to get through, I think, into 6th position. A great run from the South African again. Hamza Al-Fayez now taking on Parmigiani, and he's committing to the move. In a 4th position goes Hamza Al-Fayez. Great bit of driving from the Jordanian. So now it is Rashid Al Daheri who leads. Hanum second, Arafai third, and Hamza Al Fayez has got to the front of the queue. The Jordanian is now in fourth again, where he started. Fifth place for Parmigiani. Here comes Sam Budler. Sam Budler's trying to get into the top five. Can he get through on the inside in the fifth position? Oh, lovely bit of driving from Parmigiani to keep Sam Budler at bay. Sam Budler gets him on the switchback. Lovely racing from Sam Budler. Luvave Sam Budler gets in a P5 on Parmigiani. But it looked to me as though Parmigiani was trying to get him back again into the next left-hander. That should give Hamza Al Fayez a bit of space in fourth position now. The top three, though, are tightening up. Al Daheri, Haram and Al Rafai are very close. Fourth should still be Hamza Al Fayez. There he is. Fifth is Parmigiani. Sixth is now Luvave Sam Budler. And what a battle this is turning into. Seventh place is now Seb Murray, I think it is, in front of Adam Al-Ajari. Seb Murray makes the move into sixth. Great pass from Seb Murray. So that puts him into the top six, and a big lunge further back. That is Parmigiani, I think, trying to get himself. No, sorry, that is Luvave Sam Budler trying to get back into the action. Adam's going for the lead in turn two. Adam on the inside of Al Daheri. Al Daheri keeps it around the outside. Brilliant defence from Rashid Al Daheri. But that was Harry Hanum's first attempt on the race lead. And I don't think it's going to be the last by any means. 9 laps completed, 7 to go. We are over half distance in this cadet final, and now Rashid Al Daheri's got a massive push from Harry Hanum and Federico Al Rifai. It's going to be a three-way battle. Harry Hanum is all over the back of Rashid Al Daheri, who goes a little deep in the chicane. Hanum's got a chance, but Federico Al Rifai is right there with him. Three of them battling together for the race victory with 6.5 laps to go. Hamza Al Fayez is clear in fourth. Fifth place is going to go the way of Parmigiani, the way things are currently going. And Luvave Sam Budler is there in P6, the South African. Attention turns back to the front of the race, though, because we've got 3 drivers battling. Hanum's got to try and shake off Al Rifai before he makes the move, because now Rashid Al Daheri is going to be there in position. Can they go for the overtake? Not yet. They're going to have to bide the time. Can Hanum pop up on the inside line and make the move on Rashid Al Daheri? He's nearly there, but Al Daheri can't let him go. And now watch out for the man in third, Federico Al Rifai stepping up to the attack. Over the bridge, it looked to me like Al Rifai was going to make the bid to get through. Left, right, left over the bridge. Hamza Al Fayez is steady in fourth. As long as he can start to pull away, he's got a chance to go for the leading 3. But they are squabbling big style now, and that's going to really help out the Jordanian. Harry Hanum into the lead. Hanum leads, and in a second goes Rashid Al Daheri again, as Federico Al Rifai led briefly, and now Harry Hanum leads the O-plate. Fourth place for Hamza Al Fayez, a few corners back, but here comes Rashid Al Daheri back again into the lead. Harry Hanum gets off the throttle, gets back alongside him to try and get the switch back on the undercut. Rashid Al Daheri gets back into the lead. Fantastic racing for the victory now. Al Daheri, Hanum and Al Rifai. The 3 drivers duel for the victory. Lap 11 is completed, 5 to go, and Hanum goes again. Hanum goes into the lead, does he? Alongside Al Daheri, who keeps it long on the far side. Hanum protects Al Rifai. This is an incredible battle, and further back we've got race drama too, as Kadali fights with Murray Dexter and El Hamosani. Sam Budler is in 6th, trying to get away from Quintarelli, Naylor and Al-Ajari. Some great racing all the way through this field. It's not just at the front end. Yellow flags, we've got a retirement, and that looks, unfortunately to me, to be Max Murray. I think that's Max Murray and Randy Nader have had an incident somewhere. But Harry Hanum is back in front, and Rashid Al Daheri's down to 3rd behind Federico Al Rifai. So Hanum leads, Al Daheri 2nd, and Al Daheri is down to 3rd position. But we seem to have lost both Randy Nadir and Max Murray. So their race week sadly ends prematurely. And Al Rifai back into the lead for the first time since yesterday. Federico Al Rifai gets into 1st position at a crucial stage in the race. 4 laps to go. Here comes Harry Hanum back on the inside, yellow flags. He's got to hang back. Al Daheri makes the move, but surely that was under yellow flags. So I think Al Daheri's got to let him back through. Hanum trying to get back into position. Now did Al Daheri make the overtaking move there under yellow flags? Because there are yellow flags at the first corner. And it's Battenberg's by the look of it as well now, Battenberg's. So we are under caution with 3 laps to go at the end of this one. This race might finish under caution. But I have a feeling, I don't want to be the naysayer, but there's a chance Al Daheri might have made the move into the first corner under yellow flags. Now, if that's the case, they'll have to investigate. But if that's the case, they'll have to give the position back to Harry Hannum. But Federico Al-Rifai may have got the victory sewn up, depending on how long we're going to be behind Battenbergs. I think it's just because the cart is in a difficult position to recover. I think that is Randy Nadir's cart. And so Harry Hannum has been allowed back through by Rashid Al-Daheri. That is the right move. So well done to Rashid. He knew that there was a chance he'd have to let him back through, so he did it when it was safe to do so. So he should avoid the penalty there. Well done to Rashid, and that has kept him in the game once more. So they're under caution, and this is perfect for Hamza Al-Fayez. He was a long way back in fourth position. He was a good 6 seconds adrift, and now the field has been bunched up. Randy Nadir has been escorted to safety. So I think we're going to go racing again at the end of this lap. That would be a 2-lap dash to the flag. And they are preparing the green flags. It's only going to be 2 laps under Battenbergs. So we are going to have a 2-lap dash for the Oplate. Oh my goodness. It is going to be an absolutely sensational race too now, because the whole field is bunched up. And so now it's anybody's. Federico Al-Rifai leads the race. And behind Federico, it is Harry Hannum. Third is Rashid Al-Daheri. Fourth is Hamza Al-Fayez. Then it's Parmigiani. Then it is Sam Budler from Quintarelli, Al-Ajari, Naylor, Kadali, Murray, Matthews, Wade, Lambert and Nagel. But Federico Al-Rifai is under the most pressure of all here. He will be restarting the race with 2 laps to go, and he's got to time it the way he needs to time it right. Harry Hannum's going to be there in second. Rashid Al-Daheri in third. Fourth will be Hamza Al-Fayez. Could not be closer as they come off to green flag conditions again. They're still under Battenbergs. They're still slow. Federico Al-Rifai slowing them right up going into the final corner. They've got to be careful. Now he's bolted. And so here we go. Green flags. It's a perfect start for Federico Al-Rifai. Harry Hannum's going to get some ball from Rashid Al-Daheri. This is going to be such a tough battle to the finish now. Through they come, but Federico Al-Rifai timed his restart perfectly. Unfortunately for him, Hannum and Al-Daheri are working together to close him back down again, and Hamza Al-Fayez is still there in P4. Over the bridge, through the left, through the right, down the drop, through the left they go again, and then flat on the throttle they will go through the low peak left-hander underneath the bridge, and we may see a lead change already. Federico Al-Rifai leads the way from Hannum and Al-Daheri, but is there going to be a change of position under the bridge? Hannum is leading! Hannum is out in front! And there goes Parmigiani through past Al-Fayez into fourth position. Harry Hannum has taken the lead from Federico Al-Rifai. And there goes Al-Daheri. Al-Daheri through to fourth. Hamza Al-Fayez back into fourth position as well. So Al-Daheri gets second. Al-Fayez in fourth, but not for long. Parmigiani and Sam Budler both get him. So the Jordanian back down to sixth. Sam Budler is now into fourth position. The South African's got a great shot here. And still they force their way further up the order. Harry Hannum goes into the last lap. Last lap, here we go. And Harry Hannum's got pressure from Rashid Al-Daheri. Al-Daheri trying to come the long way round and get the switchback. Harry Hannum over the curbs. Rashid Al-Daheri trying to come alongside over the bridge. And watch for Federico Al-Rifai. They go out of our sight. They're going to be battling for position in the left, right, left. They will drop out of sight. Through the left hand, flat on the throttle they will come. But it looks as though Luvave Sam Budler, the South African, may have a part to play in this. In fourth position, trying to chase them down. Under the bridge, and it's Al-Daheri! And there goes Sam Budler down the order again. Oh, and there's a little bit of a skate in the middle through. Hamza Al-Fayez picking up a place or two. Up to third comes Parmigiani. Oh my word, Rashid Al-Daheri has snatched the lead back from Harry Hannum on the last lap at the crucial moment. It got away from him, he lost the ground, but Rashid Al-Daheri is back in the lead, and he will come through to win a record-breaking 5th Dubai Oplate. Rashid Al-Daheri has won it for the 5th time. Harry Hannum second, and a great result from Filippo Parmigiani in third. What a result! Sam Budler is a fantastic 4th place. 5th for Matteo Quintarelli. Adam Al-Ajari is a feisty 6th. Federico Al-Rifai so close, but ends up 7th in the end. Sultan Kadali in a fighting 8th. Well done to him. Commiserations to Hamza Al-Fayez. He almost had a chance of the victory there in 9th. And Seb Murray rounding out the top 10 with guts and determination. Oliver Naylor 11th from Nicholas Matthews and Oscar Lambert. Ryan Nagel and Benjamin Wade. Max Dexter, Leo Nielsen, Daniel Kelleher, Dome Karkinen, Arjen Shirodka and Ty Mejia. retirements from Zayn El Hamossani, Randy Nader, Max Murray, Shivali Senior and Enzo Pedraza. But what an amazing final and an incredible result for Rashid Al Daheri. Absolutely supreme driving. Read the situation perfectly and was not going to lose touch. Sublime. Absolutely majestic racing from Rashid Al Daheri. Just timed it to perfection in the end. Harry Hannam got him, but then Rashid Al Daheri fought back in the twisties and got back into the lead in the trickiest section of the course. So a really impressive run. And for Rashid Al Daheri, incredibly, that is the 5th Dubai O-Plate victory. Truly sensational. Well, it's going to be an absolutely euphoric Rashid Al Daheri after such an incredible job. It was never going to be an easy race, but they really have given of their best. Rashid Al Daheri is your victor. So we're going to see if we can grab a word from him in a moment after an absolutely thrilling race. But what a display. Rashid Al Daheri doing an absolutely incredible job. And he and the team can now finally relax and celebrate after yet another supreme performance. Absolutely terrific race. Really, really good effort. And he's got so much he can be proud about there. A really tough race and an absolutely thrilling battle. I'm going to cut through and see if I can grab a word with him. It's been a tough race, that is for certain, but it was always going to be tough. Let's get Rashid Al Daheri over to the pit wall and have a quick word. For the 5th time, a Dubai O-Plate winner. What an amazing opportunity that was, and what a tough race it was at the end there. Rashid, let's grab you for a moment. Well, that was always going to be a tough race. A handshake there from Harry Hannam in second place. Great sportsmanship to the end. Rashid, that was probably your toughest O-Plate victory because it was all happening right at the end there, and you got the break with the Battenberg. Without that, you might not have been in a position to get it done.
Yeah, I think this one was the best and also the toughest one O-Plate. And I'm really happy to come back home and have a great challenge.
And of course, that means now that you are the most successful racer in the Dubai O-Plate in history. 5 O-Plates. You're going to go for 10 at this rate.
Oh, well, I actually didn't know that, but okay. I'll try my best.
Good job. Well done, Rashid. Absolutely amazing run, and more congratulations. I want to grab a word with Harry Hannam actually as well. His fighting drive in second was absolutely sensational. Harry, the CRG served you well. It was always going to be a very tough race, and for a brief shining moment there, you had the job done. It's so hard here. You must be very proud of the fight back.
Yeah, Rashid did a good fight. Some very good racing. Yeah, I'm happy what happened there. Just a big thanks to EBC Brakes, Jack Dex for JDR Racing and Motorsport Wheels.
And I have a feeling that now that you come so close, you're going to want a little bit more. Next year, you'll be back to get the job done.
Yeah, we don't know if, but yeah, I will definitely be fighting for the win next year, and we'll see how that goes.
Good job. Well done, Harry.
Thank you.
Absolutely spot on. An absolutely terrific race. I'll see if I can find Filippo Parmigiani as well, our third place racer. It was always going to be a tough one, but he's done a great job as well. Filippo, third position, a very tough race out there, and you managed to keep yourself in the game. The Battenberg obviously helped, but you picked off as many places as you could.
Nothing. I had a nice race with Matteo too. It was nice. We battled a bit. Yeah, I battled a bit with everyone, which is nice. I improved a bit, so it's good.
And next year you'll obviously be back for a lot more.
Yeah.
Congratulations, well done.
Thanks.
Fantastic. I know there was an issue with our circuit PA here, but fortunately the radio coverage will have heard all three, so there is a lot that we can take from those fantastic performances. A great result and an absolutely spectacular finish to the Cadet O-Plate. Great racing from our youngsters as well. They've been absolutely fantastic, and I think you'll agree, a really sensational end to their week. It really has been amazing. And a well done to the South African. I'm going to grab in there a word with Liverway Sambudla as well, actually. He's been absolutely amazing. Liverway, we've had some problems with the mic, Liverway. If you want to come over to the pit lane itself, I'll have a word with you as well, my friend. Absolutely incredible fight back. That last race, I mean, you were there hovering at the end of the top 10, but you just took every opportunity and went for it.
Yes, it was pretty hard, but I had a good start and I didn't care about anyone. I just wanted to pass and get to the top 3.
And some absolutely amazing racecraft out there. I think that's fired you up for a crack at it again in 2021.
Yep. I hope well done to the top 3, but got a penalty, so I'll see next year maybe.
Fantastic. Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
Excellent work from Luvoe Sambudla, one of the drives of the week, to put himself into a worthy 4th position for Squadra Course. Absolutely superb. Great racecraft again from our cadets. They really were sensational. For those who didn't quite hear all of the interviews on the circuit PA, don't worry, they have all been recorded for the radio broadcast, so you will still hear them all in full. Absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic end to a truly terrific cadets battle. They really have been sensational, and we're going to see some more fantastic race action from them, I'm sure, in the 2021 Dubai O-Plate. Coming up next up, we have some more battles in front of us as the Dubai O-Plate continues.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingham and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Jacques Villeneuve. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Bruno Senna. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Chris Hoy, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Ready again for more amazing action at the Dubai O-Plate 2020 as we now head into the junior race. And it has been a very competitive week for them as well. So many drivers to battle at the front end of the field. But they come out now on the circuit to the packed grandstands as we get them ready for another thrilling encounter. And it really is going to be a truly sensational race in front of us for the Junior O-Plate 2020. The competitors are running up at the sharp end of the field with so much support from so many quarters. They've come from all over the world to be here for this Dubai O-Plate. And now we have an amazing spectacle in front of us. 18 laps around the circuit it will be, I believe, for this last race of the week. And some of the brightest and best young Junior X30 talent from across the globe have come here for the Dubai O-Plate. And it all comes down to this. The winner of this race will be competing at the IAMI International Finals 9 months from now with an absolutely fantastic prize. And of course, they will have a full operational running. They don't even have to worry about running in the event because it will all be taken care of for them. A fantastic battle ahead of these drivers. They will all be wanting to push up at the sharp end of the field. And of course, the battle will be very close. A lot of great drivers to run at the front end of the field. And they all want a really strong race in front of them. Just in the top 6 are 6 men who are very capable of winning this O-Plate. They've been absolutely sensational so far. So the drivers in the junior category will come out to the start-finish line for their driver parade with all their carts lined up in position. Slightly different driver parade photo for this one, with all the competitors there in position at the sharp end of the field. But what a battle, what a thriller this is going to be. The home hero, Kamal Lagar, will be on pole position. Alongside him from Morocco, it will be Suleiman Zanfari. They shake on a fair fight in front of them. And of course, they will have an incredible driver's parade photograph in a moment. Darryl Taylor lining up in 3rd position with the MLC colours, very active on his kart. And then, of course, Alfie Rigby with the XL Motorsport colours, showing the same chassis that he races with, of course, in Europe, the Cosmic. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do from the outside of the 2nd row of the grid. And then, of course, the Brand Racing twins will be there on the 3rd row. Anshul Gandhi and Kane Cherian. After an amazing battle in the pre-final, they both have a chance now to crack through to the top. Alexander Renner fighting his way brilliantly to 7th place. And that is where he will start, along with the Australian talent Zach Scular, who will be there in 8th on the grid. And at one point, we all wondered whether he'd actually be racing, never mind in the top 10 of the grid, after his incident on Thursday, where it thought for a moment he might have an injury, but no, fortunately he has been very lucky indeed. And now he has a great battle in front of him. So the drivers will now gather on the white line. All helmets need to come off, because obviously they need to come to the white line on the start-finish line.
We do the picture here of the drivers. Can they stand next to their carts on the outside?
So the competitors will be next to their carts, apparently, we are told. Helmets off, helmets in hand, and they will be stood next to their race carts for the most complete photo. What an end to the Junior O-Plate week this is going to be. So the drivers will be at the side of each of their carts. Gives me a chance to walk through the grid in a little bit more detail. Kamal Agar and Suleiman Zanfari together on the front row of the starting grid. Daryl Taylor and Alfie Rigby together on the second row. Anshul Gandhi and Kane Sherian from Alexander Renner and Zach Skular. And rounding out the top 10 will be Valerio Renicella, and alongside him on the grid in the 216, my apologies, will be the very talented William Wade. So the mechanics have been told to clear the grid. The race mechanics are clearing the grid so that we can have the perfect driver's parade photograph. And what a battle this is set to be with all of our competitors in the junior battle. The officials will come out of the way as well. I've got to get out of the photograph as well, otherwise it really will be ruined for posterity. But the drivers are in position and they will be ready for an absolutely thrilling race ahead of them. So the competitors are ready for an absolutely incredible race in the shade of Dubai Motor City, a stone's throw from the Kartdrome itself. The photographers are taking the ultimate starting grid photo, and these guys are going to be ready to do battle around the circuit here at the Dubai Kartdrome. And what a thrilling race it is going to be. Let's have a quick word with a few of the drivers. Then we're going to get a couple of people in position for the photograph as well.
Wide angle lens, please.
The jokes about a wide angle lens on the start-finish straight. I'm saying nothing. Oh, apparently I'm allowed in this one. Goodness me. I've gone up in the world. So an absolutely fantastic battle from all of our competitors. And we are ready. An absolutely brilliant battle in front of us for the Junior O-Plate. I'm going to get in there and grab a quick word with a couple of drivers before we disappear. Kamal Agar, pole position for the O-Plate. This is the race that you've been waiting for. Can we get the job done here?
Yeah, definitely. Won all races this weekend, so confident that I can win it in the final.
There's obviously going to be a lot of opposition from the 4 or 5 guys behind you. What's the strategy?
Just hopefully lead every lap and get a gap from the start.
Seems simple enough. Good luck, Kamal. So he's there in first position, wanting to get the job done. I think we've got time for just one more, so we may as well make it the man alongside him. Suleiman Zanfari, the young Moroccan. First race on the Charles Leclerc chassis, and I have to say it's been a very impressive performance in the pre-final. Can we overhaul him?
Yes, we can overhaul it.
So what's going to be the strategy heading into it?
Make a good start, less mistakes as possible, and stay always focused.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
So the grid is being completely cleared now, and all of the drivers, of course, will be in their final positions as we get ready to go racing here at the Dubai O-Plate. An absolutely sensational race now awaits us, with all of the drivers in their final positions. And of course, they will be battling, fighting forward to come through. But obviously, there's always going to be a very tough race performance to come through. But the battle is obviously going to be very, very tight at the front end of the field. And everyone wants to be up at that sharp end. They all want to be fighting for the victory. And it will be close. Kamal Agar, unbeaten so far coming into the race battle. Can he keep that unbeaten streak? Engines come on. So now we get the chance to watch the race that we've been waiting for. The Junior O-Plate final gets underway. So Kamal Agar from pole position lines up beside Suleiman Zanfari, who will be there in second on the grid. Third position will be Filippo. Sorry, my apologies. We're into the next race, aren't we? The grid came up in front of me at the wrong time. So the pole position will be Kamal Agar from Suleiman Zanfari. Then it is Daryl Taylor and Alfie Rigby, Anshul Gandhi and Kane Cherian, Alex Renner and Zach Scular from Valerio Rinicella and William Wade. Then it will be Danny Shields, and lining up beside him will be Khalifa Al-Kubaisi, Ryan Ekberg and James Swindells from Sakir Al-Qasimi, and then Tyler Simpson from Lewis England, Aidan Rafai, Dennis Double and Keanu Al-Azari, who has to start the race from the back of the grid. And that is courtesy of his pre-final retirement, of course. But now the grid is full up in position. So they're now ready in position and ready to go. Kamal Agar, ready for the toughest race of the week. He may have won all of the other previous races, but this is not the same race. So the drivers come out of the final turn. Looks like it's going to be a tough battle, and away we go. Cracking start. Up on the front end of the field from Kamal Agar. Suleiman Zanfari holding the lead, but in second place now comes Daryl Taylor. So Daryl Taylor gets his opportunity to move through and up into the position. They tuck their way through. It is not going to be an easy race from here on in, but the drivers are still going to be battling forward, fighting fit and gunning for the top line. So obviously the race battle from here is going to be a very close one. They come underneath the bridge for the first time, and that will be our first indication as to where we are in terms of race battle. And it is very close. Kamal Agar still leads Daryl Taylor. The field knits its way through for the first time of asking. And of course the battle is very close from the front end of the field. They all want to be in first position, but only a hand select of them are going to be able to run there. In the early stages, Daryl Taylor giving a bit of pressure to Kamal Agar. And in third position, that looks to me to be Alfie Rigby in front of Suleiman Zanfari now. And in fifth position, it is Kane Cherian. He's got past his teammate Anshul Gandhi. Zach Scular's made an amazing start, the Australian, up into seventh position. And then it is William Wade from Valerio Rinicella and Alex Renner. Then Shields, Ekberg, Al-Kubaisi, Swindells, Al-Qasimi, Keanu Al-Azari up to 16th already. Then Lewis England, Tyler Simpson, Dennis Double and Aidan Rafai. So already a very strong start in the grand final here at the Dubai O-Plate. Daryl Taylor, second place as they come out from under the bridge. And as the race continues on, it will always be a tough battle. But here comes Suleiman Zanfari up the inside into third on Alfie Rigby. Great move from Zanfari. So he now goes into third place. Always a tough race, this Dubai O-Plate final. And certainly in the juniors, it was always going to be very tricky. Zanfari defending well to the inside on the exit of the hairpin. And that keeps him in third place for the moment. But Kamal Agar and Daryl Taylor now fighting for the win. Kamal Agar has come very close over the years, but this is the year he can finally get the job done. So Kamal Agar is hoping to get the victory in an absolutely spectacular result, but he's going to have to work very hard to get there, of course. It will be a very tough driver that fights his way past Kamal Agar to get the victory the way his form is currently. He's been unbeaten so far. So let's see if there's going to be one final flourish. Kamal Agar will continue to lead it in front of Daryl Taylor, Suleiman Zanfari and Alfie Rigby. There's some great battles going on further back in the field. As all the way down the back straight, a couple of drivers making a choice move or two. Still no major challenges up at the front end of the field. Kane Cherian is the man in front of Anshul Gandhi. Zach Scular's got some pressure from teammate William Wade. But out in front, it is Agar from Taylor, Zanfari and Rigby. Then Gandhi now in front of Cherian again. And Zach Scular and William Wade having a great challenge for 7th and 8th. Alex Renner is in 9th position. And in 10th place, that looks like Valerio Rinicella. So they squabble away, out from over the top of the bridge. And a really strong battle this will be. They will continue their challenge forward. And up and over the top of the crest of the hill they have gone. Under the bridge they go. Lap 4 of this 18-lap race. And that battle is still raging up at the front between Daryl Taylor and the race leader, Kamal Agar. Taylor trying to get close enough. Kamal Agar stretching out just enough of a lead to be comfortable for the moment. But he knows this circuit, he knows this field, and he knows these tyres very, very well. So Kamal Agar is going to be very hard pushed to get the victory in the Dubai O-Plate today. Daryl Taylor is second. Suleiman Zanfari third. Rigby trying to catch them, but in fourth place. So it's going to be a tough race in front. They know what's coming, and they know how tough the battle will be all the way through the field. A bit of a challenge there to get past Rylan Ekberg from Khalifa Al-Kubaisi. But Khalifa Al-Kubaisi has to hang back and remain for the moment in 14th place. It's always going to be a very tough race battle. We're not entirely sure how it's going to finish up yet. Still a long way to go in it. Kamal Agar and Daryl Taylor, 1 and 2, fighting fit for the victory. Third position, Suleiman Zanfari. And in fourth place, it is still Alfie Rigby, trying to keep the pace. Agar, Taylor, Zanfari and Alfie Rigby still dueling away in fine fashion. A big slide in the midfield there. Still, we've got that battle raging on in the mid-pack between Keanu Al-Azhari and Danny Shields. Al-Azhari has crept up to 12th place now, so he's made it quite the way through the field. He's now in behind Danny Shields, and he makes the lunge. Great move from Keanu Al-Azhari. So Keanu Al-Azhari gets through, makes up another position, and that will put him up into... He gets the place there on Danny Shields, while further back there's another move made. That is Khalifa Al-Kubaisi gets the move on Rylan Ekberg. But Keanu Al-Azhari into 11th place. A good overtaking move there. Kamal Agar leads, Daryl Taylor second. The fastest lap of the race has come from Suleiman Zanfari. He's in third place on the Leclerc chassis, the first major international competition for this new outfit. And he's closing in on the leaders. So it's now a 3-kart fight. The two brand racing karts of Gandhi and Cherian are still in 5th and 6th. Zanfari trying to close up on the leader too. Whoa, is there a problem for Kamal Agar? Certainly for Daryl Taylor. He's had a bit of an issue there by the look of things. And Daryl Taylor's slowing. Daryl Taylor's slowing. His final is over. Kamal Agar leads it. Zanfari's second and Daryl Taylor is out. That is a disaster for Daryl Taylor. He was fighting for the victory. He had it all coming to him, and the Philippine star is done. Poor Daryl Taylor. It's heartbreaking. Not just because he was fighting for the victory, but it's not in his control. The kart breaking down on him, and that is devastating, cruel luck for Daryl Taylor. So easily could have been the winner of this one, but now it leaves Kamal Agar and Suleiman Zanfari to battle away for the victory. In third is Alfie Rigby. Fourth is Anshul Gandhi. Fifth is Kane Cherian. But it's bitter, bitter luck for Daryl Taylor. What a shame. Absolute disaster. But then, that's motorsport. Suleiman Zanfari on the back of Kamal Agar. He has the leader in his sights. If he can keep pushing the Leclerc chassis to its limit, he's got a chance to move forward. Along the main straight, closing in on his main opponent. He's so close to it. Gandhi and Cherian, 4th and 5th. The honour of battling for the O-plate is now very much upon us for these two men that shared the front row initially. Kamal Agar, unbeaten this week. Suleiman Zanfari giving the Leclerc its professional debut. If they can get this job done, it would be a real fillet for the Leclerc chassis. Suleiman Zanfari giving it everything he's got. He is, of course, the Swedish OK champion at junior level and has done an amazing bit of racecraft in the FIA over the last 18 months. He's a real talent. So let's see if he can get his move done out through the hairpin. It is a really exciting battle up at the front end of the field. So Suleiman Zanfari right in behind Kamal Agar as they battle down the home straight, and Zanfari is making big inroads into the race leader. He wants to catch him at the right moment and go for the move unawares. Lap 8 completed, 10 to go. We're almost at the halfway mark. And Zanfari still right there in behind our race leader Kamal Agar. Alfie Rigby is third from Anshul Gandhi. Kane Cherian, Zach Skular, William Wade and Keanu Al-Azhari. Then Valerio Renachella and Alexander Renner. Khalifa Al-Kubaisi is having a great race. He's now up to 11th place, making the move on Danny Shields now to get into P11. Then Rylan Ekberg from Swindles, Al-Qasimi, double. And then it is England, Rafai and Simpson with a rather unfortunate Daryl Taylor out of the race. Zanfari has closed right up now on Kamal Agar. Alfie Rigby is in no man's land in third place, but a guaranteed podium looking like it's going his way. And if anything happens to the leaders, then Rigby is right there to pick up the spoils. And Zanfari is getting majorly close to the race leader Kamal Agar now as they come down the main straight. Half the race is now completed. 9 done, 9 to go. And Zanfari is just working with Kamal Agar, stretching him. Gandhi is 4th, Cherian is 5th. 6th place for Al-Azhari. 7th position is William Wade in front of Skula, Rinicella and Alex Renner from Khalifa Al-Kubaisi and Danny Shields. The leaders go over the bridge, nose to tail, out through the twisties and then down through the long flowing left-hand hairpin, down the drop. A very exciting race upon us now as they come under the bridge, and Zanfari is right there with Kamal Agar. The Emirati versus the Moroccan. 3rd position is Alfie Rigby of Great Britain. Then it is the 2 Indian talents, Anshul Gandhi and Kane Cherian. And in 6th position, that is Keanu Al-Azhari. What a comeback for Keanu Al-Azhari from the back of the grid. He has charged his way from 20th to 6th. And there's still just under half the race to go. He's made an amazing fight back. Here comes Suleiman Zanfari, right in behind Kamal Agar. He doesn't go for the move into the first corner. Can he get there into turn 2? He's on the inside line. Zanfari leads. Zanfari takes the lead here. Absolutely brilliant from the Moroccan. Suleiman Zanfari hits the front in the final, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. He now needs to measure this pace all the way throughout. What an opportunity this is now for Suleiman Zanfari. He's been fighting the after effects of a very bad illness all the way through the week, but he's not let it get him down. He's not let it slow him down. He is pushing very hard indeed. Kamal Agar, though, is still right there in second and gets the lead back. Kamal Agar back into the lead on the back straight. Zanfari trying again. Agar going deeper into the braking zone to keep the cart out wider. So Agar is back in front. Zanfari's still right there. What a fight. Kamal Agar versus Suleiman Zanfari. Zanfari trying to duck out from the slip spin down the home straight again. After the first corner, through turn 1. Waits for his moment. He's going to try again later. He's not going to go for the overtaking move into turn 2 of this, that. They're on lap 12 of 18. So they've still got quite a long way to go. But this is going to be a truly titanic match between these two. Rigby still 3rd from Gandhi and Cherian. Then Al-Azhari, Wade, Skula, Rinicella, Renner, Al-Kubaisi and Shields from Ekberg, Swindles and Al-Qasemi. Here we go again. And still they battle. Suleiman Zanfari right in behind Kamal Agar, the race leader and the unbeaten race winner through the week. But Suleiman Zanfari is right there in 2nd place. Let's see if the Moroccan can get his opportunity. On the back of Kamal Agar once again. Anshul Gandhi and Kane Cherian still together, the brand racing drivers in 4th and 5th. But this race looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Suleiman Zanfari trying again. On the back of Kamal Agar. Into the first corner. Can he get there on the inside line? Yes, he does. And this time, Suleiman Zanfari is firmly through. Wow, that's going to be a tough one for Kamal Agar to fight back from. Looked as though Zanfari got him on the inside and held him at the apex on the outside line. And Kamal Agar had to concede, but he also had to back out of the throttle. So I think this time Zanfari has got the lead, and he might well keep it for a while. Suleiman Zanfari has got a good couple of cart lengths now on Kamal Agar. Ruthless, determined, but absolutely no nonsense from Suleiman Zanfari. And the Moroccan has not only got the lead, but managed to pull out a gap of 6 cart lengths. Truly brilliant from the Leclerc chassis and from the young man who's driving it. Suleiman Zanfari ahead of Kamal Agar. Then in 3rd place, it is Alfie Rigby from the 2 brand racing carts of Gandhi and Cherian. And in 6th place, it is still Keanu Al-Azhari. The most impressive driver this race, though, by far, has got to be Keanu Al-Azhari. From the back of the grid to 6th, he has driven absolutely out of his skin to fight his way back into contention, and now he's lining up the brand racing carts. He may still get a podium from this one. They're on lap 14 out of 18. 5 laps to go, and Keanu Al-Azhari is not giving up. He's there in 6th position, trying to chase down the 2 Indian talents. So it will be a very tough fight. Zanfari still leads Kamal Agar, but Agar is still absolutely rapid behind Zanfari, trying to get back in there. Gandhi and Cherian are still racing together in 4th and 5th, but Al-Azhari is catching them both. They need to be careful, because Keanu Al-Azhari is definitely catching up. But Zanfari leads the way. One of the hottest young talents out of Africa for the last decade. Suleiman Zanfari is definitely one to keep an eye on for the future. He leads the way here. Run this weekend by the Birilat Middle East team on the new Leclerc chassis. And what a debut victory this could be for them. But he's got to keep it together for 4 more laps. Kamal Agar is not going anywhere other than forwards. the way things are currently looking. Kamal Agar is still pushing. Suleiman Zanfari sets the new fastest lap of the race. But it will be such a tough fight. They come through the S's, up on the top of the bridge. And as they come through underneath the bridge, Zanfari still leading from Kamal Agar. Third position for Alfie Rigby. Then it is Gandhi, Chediad and Al-Azhari. Al-Azhari is right there now behind the two Brand Racing carts. He's caught them right up. Can he get back into the top four? He's got to pass both of them if he wants to get there. But Keanu Al-Azhari could well end up on the podium the way things are currently going. He makes his bid on the inside of Cherian. That's a late one and he can't make it stick. But fair play to Keanu Al-Azhari for getting stuck in. He can't quite make the move on Kane Cherian, but he could still break into the top 5. 3 laps to go. Zanfari still leading for Kamal Agar. This could be a really exciting battle all the way through to the finish line. And Suleiman Zanfari is just 3 laps away from getting this race won. He's been close to the top all the way through the week, but has not actually been the fastest driver or the leading driver of any of the races. What he's done is he's worked this out. He's calculated it minute by minute, lap by lap, and he is now looking good for the victory. Oh! Collision! That's Keanu Al-Azhari! Keanu Al-Azhari tried to make the bid to get past the Brand Racing car to Kane Chediad, and he's ended up spinning. I think he's got more damage. Keanu Al-Azhari in big trouble. Well, he gave it his best, he tried his hardest, but he couldn't quite make it. Fair play to Keanu Al-Azhari though. It's never easy when you're starting last. You've got to get stuck in and give it a go. And on this occasion, he's going to have to be frustrated. But at least he has driven a hero's drive regardless. He slots back in behind Danny Shields. But it's not going to be Keanu Al-Azhari's day. What a hero's drive though. A great fight back. But it's not to be. Under the bridge for the penultimate time comes Suleiman Zanfari, the fastest man of the race. Kamal Agar is not throwing in the towel. He's still pushing. Rigby in 3rd. Gandhi is 4th. Cherian is 5th. And now they've got a massive gap between themselves and William Wade. So Wade in 6th position is going to have plenty of space between himself and Zach Scular. There's a few seconds as well. I'd say there's about 2 seconds of gap between them. But out of the final turn comes Suleiman Zanfari. Yellow flags up on the top of the hill. There are yellow flags over the bridge. And that looks like Keanu Al-Azhari again. So he must have had more damage to the kart than he realised. So Keanu Al-Azhari is now sadly out of the race. That is a real shame. But out in front, Suleiman Zanfari has saved the best till last. No overtaking under yellow flags on the top of the bridge. And a frustrating race for Keanu Al-Azhari, but he's been a hero out there. Under the bridge for the last time comes Suleiman Zanfari with a decent cushion over Kamal Agar. He knew he was going to have to be ruthless in his bid to get past Kamal Agar, and ruthless he was. He's a feisty young racer, is Suleiman Zanfari. Wherever he goes, you can be sure he will be glittered with glory. And now he comes out of the final few corners. The first competitive outing for the Leclerc chassis will end in victory. Oh, there's contact by the back. But out of the final turn, Zanfari is the winner. Second for Kamal Agar, so close. 3rd place for Rigby, but in 4th is going to be Gandhi. And Cherian is down, out of it. Wade is 5th. 6th place for Zach Scular. What a result for Zach Scular. In front of Alex Renner in 7th place. 8th position is Kane Cherian in the end. Valerio Renicella is 9th in front of Khalifa Al-Kubaisi. From Ryland Ekberg and Danny Shields, James Swindels and Sakir Al-Qasimi. Oh, Dennis Tabul comes home first in front of Sakir Al-Qasimi. Then Aidan Rafai. It'll be Lewis England in front of... Tyler Simpson in front of Lewis England. But finally, it is a victory for Suleiman Zanfari. And in the very first outing for the Leclerc chassis. Absolutely heroic win. And what a performance. What a great race between him and Kamal Agar. Bitter disappointment for Kamal Agar. 2nd place when he'd won everything else. But that just goes to show you can't predict a thing in karting. You can't predict a thing in motorsport. It's all going to come down to the final furlong. And on this occasion, it's Suleiman Zanfari and the Birilat Middle East team. What a result. And what an engineering triumph for the Leclerc chassis on its debut. Absolutely sensational. Ronnie Sala celebrating with the Birolak Middle East squad. What a way to start 2020. An absolutely heroic victory. And what a job for Suleiman Zanfari. Absolutely majestic race. A tough one though for Alfie Rigby in third position. So close. And a heroic race for him. And second position after a magnificent performance all week from Kamal Lagar. So near but so far. But it's a victory for Suleiman Zanfari in the Leclerc chassis. The first time it's been internationally competed. And it's got a victory. I wonder how wide the smile is going to be when Charles Leclerc hears about that. Absolutely magnificent. A great battle all the way to the finish. And some heroic races all the way through the field. But it's going to be a very tough fight to replicate again. Awesome for the juniors. Heroic from all three drivers in the top end. Alfie Rigby, a feisty drive in third position. Just not quite able to keep up with the leading two, but heroic in third position nonetheless. He has walked away from the scene. He's obviously very frustrated. Second place for Kamal Lagar. There'll be frustration there too, of course, for Kamal Lagar, because he had a great opportunity there to get the victory. But it will be a euphoric Suleiman Zanfari after an absolutely heroic battle. He really will be as pleased as punch after an absolutely sensational race. That was a truly brilliant junior final. But commiserations to Keanu Al-Azari, who's being recovered from his accident on the far side. A feisty drive to fight back, but it just wasn't to be on this occasion. So close for so many drivers in this one. But the party can start at Birolak Middle East, and I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty hefty one. So nearly for Alfie Rigby, and even more so nearly for Kamal Lagar. Unbeaten until the final. But you can never count your chickens before they hatch in motor racing. An absolutely majestic race and a fantastic final. Well, there's a lot of worn out racing drivers, very exhausted ones, as they come through and finish up. It was a particularly long parade lap in, a victory lap for Suleiman Zanfari. He really enjoyed himself there. But it was always going to be a very tough fight. A tough race. Let's have a word with the man in second position, Kamal Lagar. It was so close. You did such a good job all week, unbeaten up until that point. Talk us through the race. It was very nearly yours for most of it.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Made a bit of a mistake when he overtook me, so he had the gap, so I couldn't really do anything after that.
But obviously that's still a very impressive performance this week, and it takes you into the rest of the UAE series with lots of confidence and strength.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well done, mate. Obviously a very disappointed and very dejected Kamal Lagar, but still gracious in defeat. And that's the mark of a great racing driver. So many great racing drivers in this field. Sadly, no Alfie Rigby. He seems to have walked away. Let's have a word with Zach Scular, actually, the Australian. 48 hours ago, we weren't sure you'd even be racing because you'd battered your arm quite badly, but you've come back and finished in the top 6. What an amazing result.
Yeah, it is pretty good. We struggled for pace all weekend, but this is a pretty decent result considering that.
So obviously this gets your 2020 off to a successive start, and I guess it's all uphill from here.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Hoping for some more good results in the future. So, yeah.
Terrific. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Excellent finish to the weekend for Zach Scular, considering where it started. Come on, Suleiman. You've been waiting for this one all week. I bet there was a stage this week where you thought it wasn't going to happen, but what a brilliant final. And to fight your way up to first position with the new Leclerc chassis, this is a big one, isn't it?
This was exceptional. At the start, we lost 2 positions. Then I passed Rigby, then Taylor. Then I stayed behind Kamal some laps. Then at the right moment, I dived on the inside and I made my way forward to win the race.
This isn't just a big moment for you either. This is a big moment for a lot of people in Italy. Ronnie Sala here watching the Birolot Middle East squad and the new Leclerc chassis. This is quite a historic occasion.
For sure, they should be proud of my victory with Leclerc chassis first time.
So obviously, there's plenty more success to come from you in 2020, but what a way to start it.
That's so fantastic how to start the season.
Brilliant. Well done, mate.
That's the way how I like to start the season.
Good job. Awesome from Suleiman Zadfari. Absolutely spot on. It was a tough drive. It was a ruthless drive. He was going to need to raise his game to beat Kamal Agar today. And boy, did he raise it. Absolutely impeccable. Great racing from the juniors. Next up, it is the Saudi World Series Junior first race. And they are going to have some exceptional racing around the circuit as well before we head over to the shifters and veterans. But the party has already started in Italy for the guys in red and white. 4 months ago, they won the World Championship in Gearbox with Marin Kramers. 2020 has started superbly for Birolot in the Middle East here at the Dubai O-Plate. And the Leclerc chassis wins on its debut with the hotshot Moroccan, Suleiman Zadfari. What a result.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Jacques Villeneuve. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Bruno Senna. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Chris Hoy, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
A truly fantastic race day here at the Dubai O-Plate 2020. And we, of course, have another terrific battle in front of us, the shifter and veteran final. And we have seen some truly sensational race duels between these guys over the course of the last few days. We will see some wonderful performances from them as they come into their final as well. Alessandro Stura will line up in pole position, and it will be a very tough race for him from the front end of the field. And obviously alongside, the whole nation is behind Amna Al-Kubaisi to get the Dubai O-Plate front, but it's very, very tricky. It's a tough discipline, a tough competition, but she has been mighty fast, and certainly in the second half of races, slightly quicker than Alessandro Stura. Let's talk to the two drivers on the front of the grid. Alessandro, so far so good. The car has had pace, but after race 2 and 3 yesterday, it's not quite perfect, is it?
Well, we are struggling with the chassis. We have some issues, the mechanic is not able to cross to make it perfect, so I struggle a bit, but we are smooth, and we had a good race till now. Let's see.
A lot of this race is going to come down to the start, of course, as well. Amna's very good on the starts. Do you think it's going to be a tough battle between you two?
I don't know. Let's see.
Good luck.
I hope it doesn't. She's not going to jump on me. Well.
Fair enough. Good luck. So Alessandro Stura from pole position. Let's head over to the other side and have a word with Amna Al-Kubaisi. Amna, a good day to end with yesterday. You managed to get the victory and you fought from the back row of the grid in the first race today to second, so things are already starting well. How do you think they're going to fare in the final?
Anything can happen. I can't predict.
The good thing about the CRG is it really does have good top-end pace, so you're able to make some good drafts for the other drivers. It looks like it has the ability to go the distance. No unreliability issues, so if he has an issue, it's yours for the taking.
Yeah, I hope so.
So obviously this is all about the start. You guys have been practicing very hard this week. Do you think that there's enough in the car to get to the first corner first?
It's all about the driving at the start.
Okay, well good luck. There's a lot of people rooting for you, so have a great race. It's going to be a very interesting battle between these two drivers on the front. We also have Omar Adarayan in third position with the Formula K. I'm not sure you expected third position on the starting grid for this one, but you have to be in the right place at the right time in this category, and you must be very happy with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's my first race in shifter, and honestly, it really surprised myself with the P3. Hopefully, we'll get the start down and try and give Amna and Scooter a challenge.
Now, this is such a physical class compared to some of the other forms of racing you have done in the past with karting. Just tell us what the transition is really like for someone doing this for the first time.
Well, the transition is obviously very, very difficult because on a junior or a senior you have the straight to relax, but here you're always doing something. So for the physical aspect, it was pretty difficult on me, but we were able to pull through, hopefully.
Well, hopefully, if it's a good start, you can rocket ship to the first corner and get a podium. Good luck.
Thank you.
Omar Adarayan looking very good for it from the second row. We still have a tiny bit of time, so I want to grab the guy alongside Tony Hogg, the leading veteran coming into this one. And you never know, if things continue as they are, we might be seeing you at the Army International Finals in 9 months.
Yeah, if I get a bit of luck. We've had a pretty solid weekend, top 3 all weekend, and then we had a bit of bad luck in the pre-final, so we end up starting 4th. But, you know, it's still anyone's race, and we'll give it a good go.
And there's some great strength in this Audi chassis. You proved that in the pre-final, going into the first corner first. This still is a very exciting package, and the brand racing team putting things together well. So there's every chance you'll be not just on the overall podium, you could even win the whole thing. Yeah, look, my target is to get onto the main podium, and if I don't manage it, then okay. But everything's working well. The chassis, the engine. I could improve a little bit personally, but yeah, overall, I'm still aiming for the main podium. Sounds good to me, mate. Have a great race.
Thanks, mate.
So it's going to be a very exciting battle in the shifters and veterans. The drivers are now suited and booted, helmets on, gloves on. So I think I need to get out of dodge, otherwise it could get very spicy for me on the main straight. But what a battle it is set to be in the shifters and veterans. They really have put on a spectacular contest over the course of the week so far. Alessandro Sturra, fast, not always reliable, but definitely at the front end of the field. Amner Al-Kubaisi, the pride of the United Arab Emirates, on the front row of the grid with the CRG Middle East team pushing her to greatness on the front row. But watch out for Omar Al-Darayan. He's learning quickly in this shifter category. 3rd position to start from is very admirable indeed, and he will want to remain there despite the fact that Tony Hogg is going to be pushing very hard indeed from 4th on the grid. It's never a given, but you've got to give it the best you can.
No pressure, nobody breathing down my back, just driving because I left it pure.
So now the drivers are coming through. They want to obviously be at the sharp end of the field, but it is going to be a very tight start. Engines come on. They will go for one exploratory lap, and then we will be racing once again here at the Dubai Kartdrome as the racers will battle for supremacy in this shifter and veteran final. So it's time for the competition to reach fever pitch in the shifters and veterans, and what a battle it is going to be. A very tough race awaits us for each of our competitors. And they know what's at stake. They know how tough it's going to be. They've done all the prep work and all the legwork to get through to position. And now the waiting is over. They've got to give it everything they have. 10 tenths. And absolutely no holds barred. So they will be there together in position, ready for the start. It is going to be Alessandro Sturra in pole position after a truly exceptional performance so far, and particularly in the earlier pre-final. But Amner Al-Kubaisi will line up in 2nd place, Omar Al-Darayan in 3rd from Tony Hogg, John van der Hart in 5th position from Horia Alexandra Roca, and in 7th place will be Walid Al-Qasimi. So it's going to be a very tough start from the front of the grid. On the inside line, the Italian Alessandro Sturra. On the outside line, for the United Arab Emirates, it is Amner Al-Kubaisi. 3rd place on the grid, Omar Al-Darayan. Tony Hogg is 4th. 5th is John van der Hart. 6th is Horia Alexandra Roca. And Walid Al-Qasimi will be 7th on the grid. Tension rises. The carts are now all in position. The flag will drop at the back of the field. The lights will go out. And when we go racing, it'll be for the start. Let's race to Dubai. And it's a cracker for both Sturra and Amner Al-Kubaisi. Tony Hogg gets a slow one, but into 2nd place off the start immediately. Amner Al-Kubaisi, a perfect start. As into 2nd place she starts right in the chase of Alessandro Sturra. 3rd position for, is that Horia Alexandra Roca already into 3rd place? A big start for the Tony card, I think, to jump up into the top 3. Tony Hogg had a real struggle off the grid. For whatever reason it might be, he seemed to bog down. But Sturra leading the way, and Amner Al-Kubaisi in 2nd position. And this will be the first time for a while. Amner Al-Kubaisi's leading! Yeah. What's happened to Sturra? Sturra's got an issue already! Sturra is down in the back in 5th position. Amner Al-Kubaisi is leading, and Sturra is down in 5th. I think Al-Kubaisi must have made the move for the lead, and Sturra wasn't expecting it. He's now down in 4th. He's made the move on Omar Al-Darayan. Horia Alexandra Roca is 2nd. Problems for him. He's got another problem. Oh, disaster for Horia Alexandra Roca. Amner Al-Kubaisi leads. Sturra is now 2nd. And in 3rd is Tony Hogg. 4th is Omar Al-Darayan. And Horia Alexandra Roca breaks down in the final corners of the first lap again. What a disaster for the Romanian. Horia Alexandru Roca has had absolutely no fortune this week at all. And the Romanian again in trouble. Yellow flags now. Yellow flags in the first sector. Amner Al-Kubaisi still leading. Where's Stura? He's in second place. He's in trouble now as well. Stura having some issues. And Omar Al-Darayan looks like he's catching him up. Stura's out! I don't believe it! This is absolute heartbreak for Scuderia Racing. Well, Stura's got his pace back again. He storms back up the inside of Omar Al-Darayan to take second once more. But still more problems for Scuderia Racing. Amner Al-Kubaisi has got an absolute dream lead. It's the length of the straight. She doesn't even need to push too hard here for the remaining 16 laps. She just needs to keep it together. I don't believe it. Cruel luck for Tony Kart and the Scuderia Racing Team Dubai. Both their drivers having mechanical problems. Alexandra Roca is out and he's heartbroken. Stura is just trying to keep the kart alive in second place. But Amner Al-Kubaisi in the trusty CRG is still plugging away out front, 3 corners ahead of the rest of the field. And Stura's gone down to third again. Omar Al-Darayan is second. Stura is slowing. He's out, surely. Third is going to be Van der Hart. Third is going to be Walid Al-Qasimi. Where's Tony Hogg? Tony Hogg appears to have pulled off the circuit. That must be the yellow flag up at the chicane. So Tony Hogg is out. Horia Alexandra Roca is out. And now Amner Al-Kubaisi leads. Second is Omar Al-Darayan. Third is Alessandro Stura. And the way things are currently going, Walid Al-Qasimi could well be on the overall podium. He's leading the veteran at the moment in front of John Van der Hart. Van der Hart really wants to get there, but if Alessandro Stura can't finish, he's struggling to at the moment. He's in third behind the Formula K of Omar Al-Darayan. But there's Amner Al-Kubaisi. Don't push too hard, Amner. You've got the lead, and it looks like it could stay that way, the way things are currently going. Omar Al-Darayan running well in second. Third is Stura, but struggling to keep the kart going. He's really struggling. Alessandro Stura might not even get third in this one. Fourth and fifth are Walid Al-Qasimi and John Van der Hart. That is a great battle between those two, because that is the veteran victory and the ticket to the finals in the IAME International Worlds. Amner Al-Kubaisi just plugging away at the front end of the field. The pressure of no pressure at all. We did say that the reliability for the Scuderia Racing Kart Dubai was going to be their undoing in the shifters. And unbelievably, lightning has struck twice for both Horia Alexandru Roca and Alessandro Stura. Stura is still going. He's in third position, trying to chase down Omar Al-Darayan. But the kart just doesn't seem to have it today. Amner Al-Kubaisi just needs to keep going. She doesn't even need to be at lap record pace at the moment. She's got 3 corners advantage on Omar Al-Darayan. Third is Stura, still trying to keep it going. He's so physical with the kart, Stura. Desperately trying to get back into this. Fourth and fifth are still Walid Al-Qasimi and John Van der Hart. The veterans are still running well. But Amner Al-Kubaisi is just keeping the CRG lit. What a victory this could be. She took a win in the third heat yesterday, but this is the one she wanted to win so much, and all of the United Arab Emirates wanted her to win so much. Omar Al-Darayan in second place. Third is Alessandro Stura. And then this amazing duel for the veterans win between Walid Al-Qasimi and John Van der Hart. They are dueling over the victory in the veteran category, and it's an absolute minefield for the lady out front. Amner Al-Kubaisi could be about to take the Dubai O Plate. They came so close in 2019. She had victory in the palm of her hand, almost guaranteed with the pace she showed. And then with Stura stalling, ironically, Stura stalling, she had nowhere to go but into the back of his car on the starting line. And it was Saeed Al-Ali who took the victory on that occasion. But now it's Amner Al-Kubaisi's race to lose out in front. Alessandro Stura is still losing time to Omar Al-Darayan. His first ever weekend as a shifter, Omar Al-Darayan. He can't believe his luck. Second position. What an amazing race this is for Omar Al-Darayan on the Formula K. Alessandro Stura never giving up, but it's looking very nerving for him at the moment in third place. As Walid Al-Qasimi now defends from John Van der Hart. The two veterans are battling for the victory. Can John Van der Hart get the move? He's going to have to work very hard to get there, that's for certain. It's not an easy task. They've got to keep it going. Amna Al-Kubaisi still lapping well. Her lap times are in the 56s. That's nearly a full second faster than anyone else around her. Even Stura is struggling to match the pace of Omar Al-Darayan at the moment. The kart just doesn't seem to have it in the final. And he's still struggling with whatever mechanical problems there are. Walid Al-Qasimi is having a great race as he battles with John van der Hart. So Amna Al-Kubaisi leads. Can she hold on to it? Second place, Omar Al-Darayan. Third is Alessandro Stura. All sorts of problems with the kart in the early stages, but now it looks as though it's all sorted. Certainly enough for him to be able to keep the race going. But what a battle. I'm not sure anybody expected the race to play out like this, but the fact that it has definitely given us a bit of a fairy tale finish for the shifters. So it is going to be a tie battle, we know that, but out in front, Amna Al-Kubaisi is making light work of each lap. She's just got to keep the laps ticking on. Never giving up, never saying die, never taking anything for granted. You've just got to keep it flowing till the finish. And so far, so good. So as the race continues on, Omar Al-Darayan is running in a fine second place. Alessandro Stura is just trying to keep it together. Not an easy task. Still a tough race battle. Still a very close race in the battle for the veterans as Walid Al-Qasimi continues to run out in front of John van der Hart. Fourth and fifth, those two, and that's a duel right to the finish line. Out of the final turn, and Walid Al-Qasimi moves to cover the line for John van der Hart. Those two will continue their veteran battle. Here's Amna Al-Kubaisi under the bridge, into the chicane. 8 laps completed of 18. It's a long old race in the shifter, but she just needs to keep the laps ticking on. Omar Al-Darayan is still second, a great run so far. Third for Alessandro Stura. He'll be disappointed and dejected, but he can't say he didn't give his best. As out of the final turn, to complete half distance, Amna Al-Kubaisi is 9 laps away from the O-Plate. And that, of course, will give her automatic qualification to the Ayami International Finals. So, a very exciting and very surprising race as Omar Al-Darayan continues his run out in front. Third place is Alessandro Stura. So still the race continues and still the battle rages up front. Amna Al-Kubaisi is the fastest racer on track as well. Still in the 56s. Only Alessandro Stura can get close on pace. But it's too little too late for Stura. Surely now there's not enough time to close up. And Amna Al-Kubaisi just needs to keep it going. Second, Omar Al-Darayan. Third is Alessandro Stura. And then the battle for the veterans. We'll switch focus to that now because we've still got Walid Al-Qasimi fighting with John van der Hart. One of them gets to go to the Ayami International Finals because poor Tony Hogg is plumb out of luck watching at the first sector as Amna Al-Kubaisi continues to lead from Omar Al-Darayan and Alessandro Stura. And it's, Walid Al-Qasimi has got passed there by John van der Hart. John van der Hart has taken the lead. So John van der Hart is now in the lead of the veteran class. Up to 4th position he goes. And Walid Al-Qasimi is doing his best to close up. But he seems to have pushed the cart as far as it can go. John van der Hart unable to catch up with the top 3, but certainly a ticket to the Ayami International Finals now in his pocket with the length of the straight to Walid Al-Qasimi. He led very well, to be fair. He gave it so much, did Walid Al-Qasimi. But it looks to me as though 4th position is not quite going to be achievable. Meanwhile, the CRG plugs on up in the lead of the race. Amna Al-Kubaisi is going to complete lap 11. 7 to go, and so far, so good. Second for Omar Al-Darayan in the Formula K. Third is Alessandro Stura, the Italian. As he comes out of the final turn, he is now starting to get back on terms with Omar Al-Darayan. Even a 3rd place finish would be delightful for Omar Al-Darayan, but a podium is looking more than likely the way things are currently shaping up. Again, he just needs to keep it going, but he might be able to get the legs on Alessandro Stura here. Here is Amna Al-Kubaisi. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon in Motor City, driving around in fine style for Amna Al-Kubaisi. John van der Hart is 4th, leading the veterans with Walid Al-Qasimi still running well in 5th position. And just think, there's one Al-Kubaisi sister racing well at Abu Dhabi, an hour and a half down the road in Formula 4. Her sister Amna is coming through here in the Dubai Kartdrome with the chance of another great result in the O-Plate. And this time, after the cruel robbery of last year, it looks like it's coming good. Stura has closed right up on Omar Al-Darayan. He's going to dive up the inside, and Stura takes second. Stura gets into second place. Omar Al-Darayan is still third. But that is going to be a heroic result still for Omar Al-Darayan in his first ever shifter race. He can be proud of a top three, especially considering the kind of talent he was up against. Horia Alexandru Roca, and of course Tony Hogg, along with John van der Hart and Walid Al-Qasimi. A great performance. But Alessandro Stura is now into second place. So the laps tick down. John van der Hart is well clear in the veteran class on lap 13 out of 18. And with Alessandro Stura now in second place and third position, Omar Al-Darayan, it's going to be a really exciting battle to the end of the race as Amna Al-Kubaisi completes lap 13. 5 laps to go here at Dubai before the fairy tale becomes a reality. But it's not done yet. Never ever think it's over until that checkered flag flies. Alessandro Stura in second. Third is Omar Al-Darayan. And the Formula K still keeping up with Alessandro Stura. He's learning a lot from the Italian as he follows in pursuit. There's going to be a lot of head scratching back at base for the Scuderia Racing Dubai squad, considering they had 2 very competitive cars in this race weekend. Alessandro Stura led most of the weekend on pure pace, but they were just waiting over at CRG for the moment. Alessandro Stura, rather sadly, has had the challenge, but it's come too late. More problems in the first 3 laps to get him well down the order, and Amna Al-Kubaisi well clear. Walid Al-Qasimi is still going. He's there about to be lapped by Amna Al-Kubaisi. The CRG still going strong. There's definitely got to be something in the water at the Al-Kubaisi race family household, because they have produced 2 incredible races and 3 are on the offing as well, of course. With Khalifa Al-Kubaisi in the wings as well. I have a feeling that Middle East motorsport has pretty much got Al-Kubaisi written all over it in the future. However, for Amna Al-Kubaisi, she continues to lead the way. Have we got a problem? I was not sure if we had a car coming into the pits to retire there, but Amna Al-Kubaisi has got past Walid Al-Qasimi to lap him. Where's the battle of a second? There's Stura, and there's Omar Al-Darayan. So in fact, there is now hang on a second. There is a blue flag with a red cross coming out. So Amna Al-Kubaisi goes past the pits. Now, is that for Walid Al-Qasimi? I think it is. Well, Walid Al-Qasimi is getting a flag signal, unfortunately. I think he may have some kind of difficulty that he doesn't know about. He's given it his best shot, but the IAMI International Finals ticket is not going to go his way on this occasion. It's going to go to John van der Hart, who is running well in 4th position, and is likely to be lapped by Amna Al-Kubaisi as she comes under the bridge once again on lap 16 out of 18. And she doesn't even need to push at this stage. Just lift and coast to bring it home is all that's required. Walid Al-Qasimi still running, but I don't think he's going to be there for much longer. Alessandro Stura still in second. Omar Al-Darayan in a fabulous third. A great result for him if he stays like this. 4th position is John van der Hart. Into the penultimate lap now goes Amna Al-Kubaisi. There have been some heartaches over the years, but it finally looks as though the story is going to get a fairy tale ending. Out of the final turn comes Alessandro Stura. Still pushing up. He's got more problems to contend with by the look of it. He's still struggling to keep that car flowing to the end. And Omar Al-Darayan in third. Walid Al-Qasimi seems to be disregarding the signals. He's going to get it to the flag as far as he's concerned. What does it matter either way? He wants to finish. Amna Al-Kubaisi in the chicane in the middle sector and about to head on to the back straight, with John van der Hart about to become the veteran winner, and Amna Al-Kubaisi less than a lap and a half away from winning the shifter category. What a result it would be. Omar Al-Darayan has been absolutely heroic in this race as well. Let's be fair, 3rd position this weekend is a great result. Last lap, and Amna Al-Kubaisi has been working so hard to get to this stage. Alessandro stood out close, but not quite, in second place. And a frustrating, but a very heroic end. And a valiant effort from Alessandro Sturra. Omar Alderayan is going to be third if things remain as they are. And what a debut in the shifter category for Omar Alderayan. And Walid Al-Qasimi finally has to throw in the towel. The card is not going to finish. What a shame. But into the final corners of the race. So near, but so far last year. Cruelly snatched away in 2019. Finally, it looks as though the dream can be reality. John van der Hart moves aside and allows Amner Al-Kubaisi to come through. They will both be winners in the shifter and veteran classes. Finally, it is going to happen. Amner Al-Kubaisi out of the final turn, and she wins the Dubai Open at last. Fantastic. John van der Hart wins the veteran category as well. At long last, Amner Al-Kubaisi wins the Dubai Open. Alessandro Sturra in a valiant second. Well done to Omar Alderayan in third. You would be forgiven for thinking he'd won it. He is so elated. Walid Al-Qasimi fails to finish, sadly, as does Tony Hogg and Horia Alexandra Roca. But you have a new Dubai O-Plate winner. Her name, Amner Al-Kubaisi. At last, she gets to the top step of the podium. It's been a long time coming. The dream has been active for a while. The last couple of times it's gone away, but not today. And rightly so. A heroic drive from a true champion. Absolutely sensational. It was always going to be a tough road. The shifter usually is. But now we have our result. And the shifter Dubai O-Plate winner 2020 is Amner Al-Kubaisi. An absolutely exceptional performance.
Thank you very much.
Well, it was a race of attrition, as the shifter final so often is in motorsport. But what a performance it was. So, I'm going to try and grab a word with some of the drivers. Apologies if this doesn't come over the tannoy. The key thing is it will go on the radio broadcast and on the social media videos as well. So you will be able to catch it later, even if you miss it from the side of the circuit. Let's have a word with some of our heroes. Walid Al-Qasimi, I know that you wanted to win that one, and it was looking so good for so long, but what an effort.
Yeah, I pushed as much as I can, then just run out of steam.
It's always a tough race, the shifter final, but to be here and to be representing your country and the brand, obviously for Zanardi, it's still a heroic drive.
Yeah, it's lots of fun, really. I enjoyed it very much.
Fantastic. Good effort, my friend.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Well, it's been a tough old fight to get to the top of the stable, but now, finally, we can say Dubai O-Plate champion, Amner Al-Kubaisi. At last! It's taken so long, but now we finally got it.
Finally, I've been competing for 6 years, and finally winning it is amazing.
Especially considering it wasn't the easiest of races either. It was tough to get through in the first couple of laps. You got a sensible start, let Alessandro have his moments, and then just controlled the pace from there. A really sensible run. How do you find it?
It was very tough. It was a really long lap, like 18 laps on a shifter card is crazy. So
because I'm quicker than all of you.
It's really exhausting, but I'm really happy with the results.
And what a way to start 2020. It's all uphill from here.
All uphill going from here.
Congratulations, Amner, Dubai O-Plate champion at last. Well done.
Thank you so much.
A fantastic moment for Amner Al-Kubaisi. At last, after so much hard work, after all of the trials and tribulations, Amner Al-Kubaisi is the Dubai O-Plate 2020 shifter champion. An absolutely heroic run. Let's grab a word with the man in third place, his first ever shifter weekend, Omar Alderayan.
And let's race.
You must be on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, I'm just shocked over the fact that I was able to get it on the podium. I honestly had no expectations, but this is definitely not what I expected.
Are you a shifter driver from now on now?
Yeah, for sure.
It's given you a lot of success, and it's a great start to a new era for you, and what a way to do it here in Dubai.
Yep, it's close to my home city in Riyadh, so being here, it's good for everyone, especially me.
Congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amar Al-Darayan, podium on his debut in shifters. That's a great result. Let's catch up with the man who won the veterans after a fantastic day. John van der Hart. It's been an emotional weekend, really. You've had a lot of tough races with people. Obviously, young Mason doing so well in the Bambinos yesterday, and now here you are, the veteran winner.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's been a difficult week, actually, but with good support from the team, it was able to finish first now. Unfortunately for Tony, I don't know what happened, but
time I ever felt pure victory.
Because I'm quicker than all of you.
Like this.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Well,
isn't that what we're in this for?
It's been a working
to stare death in the face and to cheat it?
I like to continue.
Come on, there's nobility in that. It's like
so obviously a great weekend for you and for the Miralar Middle East team as well, and now you get to go over to the IAMI International Finals in 9 months' time. That's something nice to look forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait actually. It's a shame that it's going to take so much time, but in the meantime I can practice here in the season here in the UAE, so it's hard work still, but you never know.
Good stuff, buddy. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Let's race.
A terrific performance and a great result. It's always going to be a tough race weekend, but I think Alessandro Sturra seems to have disappeared already, and I need to get back into position because in a couple of short moments' time, in fact, I might even miss the start the way things are currently going. I need to run upstairs pretty quickly because the Sodi Juniors are about to get out onto the circuit. Well, that was a bit of drama for everybody. An absolutely sensational race and a really tight battle. But a hero's drive then in the shifters from Amner Al-Kubaisi to win the Dubai O-Plate title in shifters. I can't wait for the podium later. That's going to be something pretty special, to be fair. So we'll have a really nice ceremony there a little bit later on. But now comes the Junior Sodis. No waiting around, straight into the action for the Junior Sodi. And it is the first of 2 races. We'll have a short break in between as the senior final will take place. A great race for them. So now the drivers will be in position, ready for the start, and obviously it is a standing start. No formation lap, keeps things nice and even and equal. So now the competitors will obviously be ready for some high-octane drama. It is Federico Al-Rafai for pole position, then Yashish Monahar, Oscar Lambert, Aidan Rafai, Ryder Ekberg and Daniel Kalea, and Benjamin Wade and Zayn El Hamossani, Joshua McGregor and Elias Marchand, William Wade and Bertie Gibbons, from Danny Shields and Zach Sklar, away they go. Cracking start to the race as Federico Al-Rafai runs out in the lead. No formation lap as well, straight into the action. 2 races of pure fun and games. A lot of the drivers from the cadets and juniors have opted to step into the cart and have another play. Why not? It's the Dubai O-Plate. It's a great weekend, and any chance to go and have a play is always worth it. A couple of drivers straggling away at the back there. Yellow flags out in turn 2. But it looks to me as though they've got away with that one semi-okay. There's some good play time here in the Junior Sodis. And obviously the Junior Cup still giving some nice prizes to our competitors at the end of an amazing week. But it will be a truly great way to end the day with these Junior Sodis, and of course the Senior and Master category. Having a great race up at the front. Looks like Federico Al-Rafai has settled into a nice little rhythm. Oh dear, a couple of drivers deciding 2 or 3 into one corner will do just fine. They might find out it's not quite so easy as that. Goodness me. A lot of jockeying for position. This is good fun, this race, though. For some of the competitors, there might be a massive speed differentiation, of course, from going from an X30 to a rental Sodi. It's kind of the equivalent of going from an Indy car straight into a Fiat 500, but still very good fun. And an amazing crop of race action from these guys. Federico Al-Rafai, I've never seen a driver so determined to duck down behind the steering wheel to get a little bit more speed. Al-Rafai leads Oscar Lambert, then it's Yashish Monahar, Aidan Rafai, Ryder Ekberg and Daniel Kalea, from Danny Shields and Zach Sklar, then Bertie Gibbons and Joshua McGregor, Elias Marchand and Connor Clancy from Benjamin Wade, then it is David Gamolzi, Arthur Dodoncha and William Wade from Zayn Al Mohammadi, Mohamed Manemma, and then it is Bali Gilazbash, Michael Bashir, Kian Gizilbash, and then Yusuf Galbanay, as He's lost out to Winston Smith on the first lap, so Winston Smith gets through. Then Connor Collins. Then it is the 6 of Mihan Singh. And there are 2 or 3 drivers down at the back who are still making their way through, and they are Yusuf Kalbouni and Shania Cheyam. So those two will still continue to race on. For some reason I've got Matteo Quintarelli in my list, but he is not actually on track by the look of it. He decided not to, apparently. He's right here beside us, actually. Hi, Matteo. Much more fun watching. Federico Al-Rifai having some real nice laps out there at the moment. A nice smooth performance from him. And in second place, a nice little battle shaping up between Oscar Lambert and Yashish Monahar. Out of the final turn. Oh, a warning flag has already gone out. It's the end of the second lap. It's only a 10-lap race. A 9-lap race even. Incidentally, if anybody fancies having a play in a Sodi later, come and find me. I definitely won't say no. Once all the racing's done and dusted, of course. Absolutely fantastic battle for the competitors in this one. It's still Al-Rifai leading from Lambert and Monahar, who has the fastest lap of the race, incidentally, at 1:25.1. Then it's Ekberg from Rifai, Kalea and Shields. Then it is Zach Scular from Bertie Gibbons and Elias Marchand. Josh McGregor is there in 11th place. So it looks to me as though Yashish has got past Oscar Lambert. Thank you to my eyes in the sky there. Mr. Matthews has been giving me an idea as to what's been going on. There's Federico Al-Rifai. And you're right, there is Yashish Monahar into second place. Can he hold it from Oscar Lambert? It's great to see, though, that you've got the X30 drivers in cadet and juniors out there. And they're actually able to run with the Sodi one-timers. They're actually very even. Warning flags have gone out there to another competitor. That is the 27 getting a warning. And that is for William Wade. William, behave yourself. Brilliant battles out there. It's all just a bit of fun and games for these guys, but they get the opportunity to come back and have a play if they take the victory. And Federico Al-Rifai is just charging away out front. Yashish Monahar has got Oscar Lambert riding behind him, and then in fourth place trying to catch them is Rylan Ekberg. Hayden Rifai, Daniel Kalea with those very colourful overalls of his. Oh, looks like there's going to be a change for fourth. As up the inside comes Daniel Kalea. Daniel Kalea gets the move, I think, to move up a position. And it looks like Oscar has once again made this move back for second position. So some good battles there on the circuit. Oh, looks like more warning flags coming out now. Clearly the drivers feel that this is a little bit more fun and games than their earlier cadet and junior run. That doesn't mean they can't do what they like. But the battle up front, Federico Al-Rifai just taking it nice and easy. You've got to remember, though, that it's interesting because there is a very different running order amongst the cadets and juniors than we saw in the actual races earlier, and that's because these karts are so different. A lot of them will have spent most of their time, of course, on an X30, and these Sodi rental karts are very different. The braking distance is different, the throttle application is different, even the stance of driving it is slightly different. And these karts are a lot of fun. Side-by-side battle going on further down the order. That is the 10 and the 6. Yusuf Kalbouni and Mihan Singh having a nice little tussle. But there goes Federico Al-Rifai, almost lapping the back markers on the end of lap 4. Oscar Lambert's not only got into third, but he's putting clear. And it's side-by-side between Aidan Rifai and Rylan Ekberg. They both got past Yashish Monahar. They're still side-by-side. And watch out for Bertie Gibbons. Looks like he's going to get past 2 or 3. He might get Kelleher and Scular in one go. Contact. Couple of slides there. Couple of drivers getting a little bit of a nudge. So the order has changed quite dramatically. There's a couple of drivers out of shape. 27, William Wade, having already had one warning flag, is getting involved in some shenanigans in the midfield. It's all fun and games. Out in front, though, Federico Al-Rifai is coming up to the back markers to lap them. And there comes the second place man, Oscar Lambert, trying to chase him down. But he's in the traffic, so that's going to make it harder. Rylan Ekberg is now in third, having fought his way forward. I think Aidan Rifai is next, then Danny Shields. Then it should be Yashish Monahar and Daniel Kalea, although Kalea seems to have made some good progress. That might have changed in the flotsam and jetsam running around the circuit at the top end of the hill over the bridge. Out of the final turn, Blue flags are waving as Federico Al Rifai continues his run out of the front. He waves, thank you. He wouldn't normally do that in Kartdrome in the X30s because he wouldn't have time to take his hand off the wheel. Second place for Oscar Lambert. And third position for Rylan Ekberg. Then it is Aiden Rafai, who is there in fourth position, I believe, still. No, it's Yashish Monahar again. Daniel Kalea is trying to squeeze out Bertie Gibbons. Gibbons on the inside. And Daniel Kalea is still there or thereabouts. Some cracking good racing from these juniors. It's not the fastest race we've seen all weekend, but it's definitely one of the most fun. And side by side, William Wade still causing some issues for a couple of drivers out there. He's having a wheel-to-wheel with Mohamed Menenna. Has he got through? Just about. Oh, has he though? Mohamed Menenna is actually giving him a bit of a run for his money. He does get through in the end, but it did take him a while. Not so easy in these karts. Federico Al Rifai leading, Oscar Lambert second, Rylan Ekberg third. Then it is Monahar, Kelleher, Gibbons, Shields, Scular, Ben Wade and Elias Marchand. And a spin in the middle of the chicane there. Couldn't quite tell who that was. Oh, and it's going to arrive on the scene in exactly the wrong moment. Goodness me, that was close. A warning to drivers who are in the middle of a race. When you have crashed out or spun out, don't rejoin in the path of oncoming traffic. It's not a very sensible manoeuvre. Fortunately, the two drivers involved were able to dodge the mayhem, but that could have got very nasty. Al Rifai and Oscar Lambert, 1 and 2, and then Rylan Ekberg in third position. Yashish Monahar should be next to 17, but no, because he's lost a couple of places now to Bertie Gibbons and Daniel Kalea. Can Kalea get past Gibbons? Up on the inside, he's going to give it a go. To the inside line, Gibbons is going to restrain it, but no, Kalea has got through, and now Monahar is going to try and come around the outside to get into sixth position. Not a lot of space there. So Danny Shields is seventh in front of Zach Scular, then Benjamin Wade and Joshua McGregor, then Aiden Rafai, Zayn El Hamossani, and then it's Connor Clancy from Marchand, William Wade, Inimna, then Davide Gelmozzi, Arthur Dodonka, Michael Bashir, Vali Kizilbash, Yusuf Kalbouni, and then it is Kian Kizilbash from Winston Smith, Connor Collins, Shania Shyam, and Mihan Singh. But Federico Al Rifai continues on his way. Oh, another warning flag going out. Single digit, so there's only a handful of drivers it could be. But out in front it is still Federico Al Rifai. And it's not a bad way to end his weekend, being out in front again. It's the 9 that gets the warning flag on this occasion. Now, the number 9 is Vali Kizilbash. So, Vali Kizilbash gets the warning there. Oscar Lambert still trying to close up on Federico Al Rifai, but there's a big gap to make up. Third is Rylan Ekberg. And in fourth place, well, it's the 16 at the moment, Daniel Kalea. Then it is the 5 of Bertie Gibbons, followed by Danny Shields, who's made up some places. Then Zach Scular and Benjamin Wade. Zach Scular's going for the big one on the inside of Danny Shields. Can he get there to the inside? And Zach Scular, nice dueling, and he has got through. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there from from Danny Shields. He wanted a little bit of play-by-play there. William Wade is just cruising in the midfield there. Nothing major to concern yourself about, nothing to worry about. He's just having fun. Federico Al Rifai, still your race leader. Oscar Lambert still second. Blue flags are waving. Time to get out of the way and let the leaders come through for a couple of the back markers in the field. So it's going to be a really exciting end to the weekend for some of our cadets and juniors who decided to go up into the junior Sodi class. Blue flag on the main straight, I think, as well for our young racer there in the number 6. That is Mihan Singh. But out in front, it is still Federico Al Rifai from Oscar Lambert. And those two look likely to stay in those positions to the finish. So we'll see some really good racing from them right the way to the end of the race. That is at least the main thing. And they've been really good sports. A very nice and pleasant end to race action here. As the junior Sodis go into the 9th and final lap. Federico Al Rifai is leading, and it looks like there could be a nice move here to turn 1 from Joshua McGregor on the inside of Aiden Rifai. Can't quite finish off the move, but some good racing nonetheless. And Federico Al-Rifai continues to lead. So Oscar Lambert in second. Rylan Ekberg is third from Kalea, Gibbons, Scular, Benjamin Wade and Danny Shields. Then Aidan Rafai and Joshua McGregor battling over the last 2 places in the top 10. But for Federico Al-Rifai, he's had a frustrating day in the cadets, to be fair. He had a great opportunity to go and win the whole thing in the cadets, but a nice way to finish up by going and having a play to wipe all the issues away in the Saudi World Series race for the Junior Cup. And he's come through in fine style. Federico Al-Rifai into the final couple of corners. The checkered flag will fly. He may not have won the cadet final, but he could still take some solace from a great performance here. And it's a win and a slide down the main straight for Federico Al-Rifai. Thank you very much. And that's a win for Federico, to the joy of the XL Motorsport team on the pit wall. And it's a 1-2 for the team with Oscar Lambert in second place. Almost a clean sweep, but Ambition Motorsport's young man, Rylan Ekberg, was able to get to third place. From Daniel Kalea, Bertie Gibbons and Zach Scular, who is delighted to come home in the top 6. I'm not sure you should do that as you come across the line though, Zach. You're meant to keep both hands on the wheel, mate. Great fun. Absolutely terrific fun from our youngsters in the juniors. Federico Al-Rifai wins it from Oscar Lambert and Rylan Ekberg. Daniel Kalea is fourth from Bertie Gibbons and Zach Scular. Danny Shields, Ben Wade, Aidan Rafai and Joshua McGregor in the top 10. Good fun, but it's back to business in the senior and master final up next. So this is the moment they've been waiting for. The seniors and masters will take to the circuit for 18 laps of the Dubai Kartdrome. And it really is going to be a fantastic showcase. And it's still so unpredictable as to who is going to get the victory. Some amazing drivers from all over the world who will be challenging for the top spot. But after a very thrilling pre-final, now there is an air of unpredictability. The 2017 champion of the world, Danny Curl, cruelly robbed of a battle for the victory in the pre-final as the engine seized on the main straight. He now has to start the race from down at the back end of the field. However, that definitely doesn't mean it's game over. There are still plenty of drivers at the sharp end to race with and to cut through the field to battle their way forward. But now it's the famous 4 up at the front end of the field. For the XL Motorsport team, 3 of them have a great shot. Jamie Day, Liam Crystal and Carl Kumaran. But they've all got to battle the man on pole position. From the Netherlands, it is Kaz Havakor. And what a debut in Dubai he has made. He doesn't race Senior X30 very often either. He's usually a shifter driver in the world of KZ2. But this has been a very exciting chapter for him. So the competitors are going to be racing on the Dubai Kartdrome for the last time. So we'll get all of the drivers from the seniors. A very different parade photo. We're going to get them lined up along the start-finish straight.
And then the grid.
We're just waiting for final confirmation as to what they want to do with the photograph. I think the competitors are going to be there together by their carts. Or is it going to be along the start-finish straight? I think it's a combination of the two, actually. So while we're waiting, I'll grab a word with a couple of the drivers. Kaz Havakor, pole position. It's going to be a really exciting run for you. And so far, 2 wins from the weekend. There could be a third.
Yeah, I hope. It's already been a great weekend for me. First time here in Dubai and first time X30 senior and just all the time in the front, so it's really good.
Now, it's obviously going to be very difficult with these guys in the XL Motorsport team who know this circuit like the back of their hand to try and keep them at bay. Are you impressed with just how tough it's going to be?
Yeah, for sure it's going to be hard, but I hope I can win and we'll do my best.
Good luck. Have a great race.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Just want to see how things are with the drivers as they prepare. We're going to get a photograph, I think, at the close range of the start line. All of the drivers are going to be together. So they will be together at the front end of the field. They're just putting together the final podium photograph. They're going to need a bit of a squeeze because they've got 19 drivers in a row here. So I think everybody needs to get a little bit closer together. So the competitors are in there together on the start-finish line. From Cullen Marshall on the left to Senya Phoenix on the right, all of our 19 drivers are there together as they prepared for battle. It looks like they're going to be put into 2 rows of competition. 18 laps around this Dubai Kartdrome circuit for the senior and master competition. 2 drivers, the leading master and the leading senior over the line, will win incredible prizes. IAMI International final tickets, a Tag Heuer watch, and of course, for the senior driver, on Monday they will return to Dubai on the Kartdrome behind us, where XL Motorsport will give them a run in their Formula 4 car. It is an absolutely incredible privilege. You never know who's going to get the job done. It's motorsport, it's X30 karting. Anything can happen. So we're going to chat to a few more of the drivers as they prepare for action. What about the man who won 12 months ago, Liam Crystal? You know how to win this race. You know how difficult it is. Just what can we expect heading into these last 18 laps of the week?
Just going to try keep it calm, really. I think we've got the pace definitely to challenge. So just going to keep my head down and see what happens.
And obviously, there's so many drivers who could take this title, as well as yourself. It's not a done deal until that finish line is over. Just how tough will it be?
No, of course, it's definitely going to be a tough race, and you're just going to need to be concentrated all the way through.
Fair enough. Good luck once again.
Thank you.
So Liam Crystal in position. A lot more drivers to get into position. So we got time for a couple more, I think. So we'll have a quick word with Jamie Day, starting from 3rd position. 12 months ago, you won the junior row plate, and now you are here as a senior on the 2nd row of the grid for the senior row plate. You really don't do things easily, do you?
No.
But how big a challenge is it going to be from the inside line of the 2nd row?
It's definitely not going to be easy. We just need to work together as a team to get past and then just work to get away, really.
And you've actually got an advantage being on the inside line of the 2nd row because you can kind of follow in behind cars, and traditionally this has been the better side of the grid to start from. So if you can pull off a move similar to the one you did in the pre-final, all rosy.
Yeah, exactly. Just get another start like that, and then after that just head down and push from there onwards.
Okay, good luck, Jamie. Have a great one. So Jamie is in the zone, ready for racing. Race director is talking to the 2 guys on the... It is a really contentious race battle here on lap 9 of the grand final as Kaz Havercourt leads Jamie Day and Danny Curl. Looks like we had an issue with the radio transmission there, but we'll try and keep it running. Havercourt, Day, Curl and Khalid Saab from Abdurrahman Fraj and Dennis Bahar. So much battling through the race, and we've seen absolutely phenomenal wheel-to-wheel drama in this race. Liam Crystal squeezed Kaz Havercourt on the first lap and ended up with both men battling for the first corner. Then Crystal got spun out of the lead. Whether there was contact or not, I'm not entirely sure on the first lap. Havercourt had to fight back from about 4th position. Danny Curl fought his way back from 17th to 5th in the shape of just 17th to 3rd, in the shape of just 5 laps. Then Carl Kumaran got spun out of the equation, and Kaz Havercourt got to fight his way back into the lead of the race, in front of where Jamie Day is now in 2nd, from Danny Curl, then Khalid Saab and Abdurrahman Fraj, Dennis Bahar and Amir Al-Najjar, from Liam Crystal, Jacobo Mazza and Patrick De Battista. Alice Haynes is 11th, but still there are some big dramas. Danny Curl 2nd! Curl into 2nd past Jamie Day! What a battle! From the back of the field to 2nd comes Jamie Day. Now, he is on lap 11 of 18. Surely he does not have the time to close up on Kaz Havercourt. The gap is at least 4 seconds. I don't think he can make that ground in 7 laps, but he's going to try. He's Danny Curl. Into the first corner goes Kaz Havercourt, and Danny Curl is still the fastest man on track. There's not a lot to choose between them in terms of raw pace, but Danny Curl is not giving up. Liam Crystal, an issue there is up the inside line. A good battle further back. There is a rip-roaring battle for the master as Maxime Vobrak is being chased down by Asif and Mir. Those two are racing hard. Maxime Vobrak still leads. Asif and Mir is 2nd place in the master, but now Maxime Vobrak has managed to get past Alex Waring and Senna Eckers. So they are in the top 12. 4th is Khalid Saab, being hunted down by Abdurrahman Fraj. Liam Crystal is now 6th, having worked his way past Dennis Bahar and Amir Al-Najjar. Then it is Mazza, De Battista, Haynes, Vobrak, Eckers, Waring, Phoenix, Asif and Mir, Cullen Marshall and Daniel Alves. Havercourt continues on. He goes into lap 12. A very tough race battle. Danny Curl second in front of Jamie Day. Then it's Khaled Saab versus Abdurrahman Faj. In 6th place is Liam Crystal. 7th place is Dennis Bahar. And in 8th position, it is Amir Al-Najjar. 8th position. A tough race battle. The contenders are all working very hard. And it's not going to be easy. Right the way down to the final corner of the final lap. Kaz Havercourt still leads. Danny Curl second. Doing everything he can to close him up. But it looks like second place will have to do. 3rd position is going to be Jamie Day. 4th is Khaled Saab. 5th is Abdurrahman Faj. Then Crystal, Bahar, Al-Najjar. 9th place is Jacopo Mazza in front of Patrick De Batista and Alice Haynes, who is looking good to squeeze into the top 10 if she can get past De Batista. Across the line goes Kaz Havercourt once again. And there is the man in second, Danny Curl, across the line in front of Jamie Day. He has fought his way back from 17th to second, and Alice Haynes has got De Batista. So Alice Haynes into the top 10. A nice move from her in the George Gibbons Motorsport car. She now gets through into P10 in front of De Batista. And 12th is the leading master. That is Maxime Bobrak with Eckers, Waring and Senja Phoenix next up in front of Asif Enmir. And then we have the last two stragglers, Daniel Alves having caught and now passed Colin Marshall. Lap 14 out of 18 in this grand final. And such an amazing battle. For 4th place, it's still pretty close. Khaled Saab has got Abdurrahman Faj all over the back of him. And they will squabble to the finish line. A terrific battle further back. Sees the 327 battle away for position. Danny Curl leads Jamie Day in their fight for second place. And Abdurrahman Faj in the 4th place now. He's got past Khaled Saab. So Abdurrahman Faj is now P4. Liam Crystal is 6th in front of Amir Al-Najjar, who has also managed to overtake Dennis Bahar. So good moves for the Virilart racers of late. Curl up to 2nd. Faj up into 4th position. And up into 6th place now, 7th place now, sorry, has come Al-Najjar. But Kaz Havercourt still leads. And it's a very bold race he's had. A wonderful display. An absolutely fantastic performance. Kaz Havercourt in front of Danny Curl. Curl is still chipping away, hoping to close up on Kaz Havercourt, but he's still got a massive amount of time to make up. To be fair, he's found about a second on him in the last few laps, but it's not enough. And it looks like the Brand Racing driver, with 3 laps to go, Kaz Havercourt, is going to get the race won. Danny Curl second from Jamie Day in 3rd. And 4th is Abdurrahman Faj, running well in front of Khaled Saab. Truly spectacular racing. And it's going to come to an absolutely fantastic crescendo. Some really good displays in this one. Some truly fantastic wheel-to-wheel drama. And there's still some to come as Senna Eckers is now closing in on his teammate Maxime Bobrak. Alex Waring is trying to lose Senja Phoenix. Senja Phoenix still going strong here at Dubai. She's been complaining about how exhausted she is over the course of racing. So hot, so unusual compared to where she's usually raced. But she's held her own and done a very fair job. Havercourt still running in the lead in front of Danny Curl and Jamie Day, and Khaled Saab will not give up on 4th place here. He will not give up on the charge to go for Abdurrahman Faj. But over the start-finish line and into the first corner comes Kaz Havercourt to continue in on lap 16 of 18 completed. 2 to go then for the Dutchman. It's so close to the finish line for him now. Abdurrahman Faj in front of Khaled Saab. Then it is Amir Al-Najjar and Dennis Bahar in front of Mazza, Haynes and De Batista. And then in 12th place it is Senna Eckers. 13th place. No, it is 12th for Senna Eckers because he has got past his teammate Maxime Bobrak. Then Alex Waring, Senja Phoenix and Asif Enmir. And then at the back it's Daniel Alves after his problems in the earlier part of the race and Colin Marshall. Well, we knew it was going to be a tough fight. We knew it was going to be a ruthless one. We didn't know just how many thrills and spills we'd see in the early stages. We saw a dramatic moment or two in the early start, that's for sure. Liam Crystal trying to squeeze Kaz Havercourt to the inside line. It didn't work in the end. Jamie Day and Carl Kumaran both got past, but Kumaran's lead was short-lived. Crystal led in the early phase of the first lap before he was spun into a position there in the closing stages of the first lap. He's fought his way back admirably to 6th position and he's still going strong. Danny Curl, has fought back from 17th to 3rd, an absolutely monumental fight back. However, the man who's taken the bull by the horns has been Kaz Havercourt. He comes under the bridge for the last time. His debut at the Dubai O-Plate, a rare senior X30 outing for him as well. But he has made this race his own. From pole position, he got squeezed, but he wasn't going to be intimidated. He dug deep, he fought back into position on the back straight now for the last time. And with just 4 corners to negotiate, Kaz Havercourt is going to take a triumphant victory on his debut in the Middle East. Out of the final turn for Brand Racing, Kaz Havercourt wins the Senior O-Plate. Brilliant! Second for Danny Curl and third for Jamie Day on his senior debut. Terrific. 4th place for Abdurrahman Freish. He can be very happy with that. And 5th place for Khaled Saab in front of a disappointed Liam Crystal. 7th place for Amir Al-Najjar, 8th for Bahar, 9th for Matza, and completing the top 10 is Alice Haynes. Great performance from her to finish up in the top 10. 11th is Patrick De Batista from Senna Eckers, and the reigning master is Maxime Vabrak. She will go to the Miami International Finals as the winning master. Terrific race. 15th from Asif and Mia. Senya Phoenix is a valiant 16th from Daniel Alves and Cullen Marshall. With the one retirement, Kyle Kumaran. The X30 story for 2020 ends here in Dubai, but it ends with a victor in Kaz Havercourt. What a superior performance from the Dutchman. A really strong race comeback from Danny Curl, though, from 17th to 2nd. And for Jamie Day, his first race as a senior in Dubai, he comes home in 3rd. A brilliant race and a brilliant end to proceedings here in the X30 Brigade in the seniors. There is just one more race to go, and that, of course, is the Junior Sodi. So that race will be coming shortly. But we have a new O-Plate winner, and his name is Kaz Havercourt. What a result. What an absolutely fantastic run. And we're going to see a truly sensational champion climb the podium shortly. Great racing throughout. Some great performances in that one. And a very tough O-Plate comes to a dramatic end. But what a race it was. Let's grab a word with a few of the stars of the show after some absolutely terrific performances out there. Jamie Day, 3rd position, your first senior O-Plate. That was a very tough race.
Yeah, very tough. Just sort of struggled in the middle with the car. Just weren't quite fast enough, but don't know, to be honest. Just weren't quite fast enough, and then Danny come past and we just hung on for dear life, really, at the end. So.
But you get to come home as the leading XL Motorsport driver, just as you were last year.
Yeah, exactly. Just come home as the best driver, so you can't complain with the team. So just have to win next year.
Good job, well done.
Thank you.
Celebrations have already started. Birla are celebrating as if they've won the whole thing. Their man, Danny Curl, has fought back to 2nd place. I want to grab a word with him, actually. But they are celebrating as if they've won the event, Birla Middle East. What a drive, 17th to 2nd. That is why Danny Curl is a world champion. And they are soaking in properly. Let's have a word with Danny Curl. Danny, I said going into this race that if there's anybody that can go from the back of the grid to the front end, it's Danny Curl. You really showed off out there.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, we've been playing all weekend with, kart setup and everything. And obviously we knew that Sam Fire was quick in the final, so we kind of copied exactly the same, and then we came through like a machine, so it was good.
What a weekend for the team. A first win for the Leclerc chassis in the junior, and in the senior you fight back to 2nd when it looked impossible.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I mean, there was obviously a bit of carnage going on, which there's always going to be in a race like this, a one-off event, so got helped out a little bit, and then came through, and it was good. Obviously massively thank you to the team, because they did a great job, and nice.
Terrific. Well done, mate.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Well, an absolutely incredible end to racing, but we do have a champion in the Dubai O-Plate senior category, and that man is Kaz Havercourt, the Dutchman. Absolutely amazing. There is some conversations going on at the present moment, so We're going to find out how things are. I wonder if there might be some discussion going on at the end of this one. So we'll find out how things are as the race finishes up. We'll get official confirmation. One thing we can say, the Dubai O-Plate, truly sensational yet again. When is it dull? Never. That's official. Absolutely amazing. Terrific racing from the guys at the Dubai O-Plate in the senior and master category. Just one more race to go. And so the very last race then of the Dubai O-Plate 2020 is going to see the junior Sodis out once again for a lovely final play around the circuit. Federico Al-Rifai and Oscar Lambert from Rylan Ekberg and Daniel Kalea, Bertie Gibbons and Zach Scular from Danny Shields and Benjamin Wade, Aidan Rafai and Joshua McGregor from Zayn El Hamosani and Elias Marchand, then Connor Clancy and William Wade from Davide Gomozzi and Mohamed Enemne, then Arthur Dodonsha, Vali Kizelash, Michael Bashir, Youssef Kalboune, Kian Kizelash, Shania Shyam, Connor Collins, Winston Smith, Mian Singh, Yashish Monahar. That is your grid of 26. So the competitors are there lining up in position, and we're in for another great battle to finish off the 2020 Dubai O-Plate weekend. So many people to thank for this one, from Motorscape to Rack Track to Tag Heuer to XL Motorsport to the Biralat Middle East team. So many people to thank for all of their contributions. Everybody that has given so much to it, to George Gibbons Motorsport, to Brand Racing, to Scuderia Racing, Kart Dubai, and of course to all of our guests and visitors, as well as the Dojomoto team, and of course everybody who have been here as part of IAMA UAE. They always give us fantastic entertainment and great race action, and long may it continue. Of course, if you want to find out more about the IAMA UAE series, you can do by heading to iami.ae. The website there will give you all the updates as to how to get involved, where to go racing, and they are halfway through their championship year for the 2019 and 20 season, the IAMA UAE series. Their championship continues in February, and it will be an absolutely fantastic climax to their season, no doubt, as they continue racing up at the top end of the grid. But what a fantastic week it's been. So many amazing victors crowned. We're waiting official confirmation for each of the classes to wrap up, of course, but we know there's certainly a handful of champions. Suleiman Zanfari in the junior, the first ever professional outing for the Leclerc chassis from the Biralat Middle East team. And of course, Amna Al-Kubaisi, the darling of the United Arab Emirates, taking the victory in the shifters in fantastic fashion with a very determined race win for CRG Middle East. And then, of course, an absolutely terrific run from Rashid Al-Daheri in the cadets. A wonderful performance from him and a very worthy victor in that title fight. The winning master is Maxime Vobrak. She will head to the IAMA International Finals, as will Jean van der Hart, who will take the victory in the veterans category. There is still official confirmation to be waited on the seniors, I'm told, but that will happen by the time we get to the podium later. However, the Sodis are heading out on circuit for the last Junior Cup race of the season. So, the Dubai O-Plate has been a fantastic weekend, and in the shadow of the Dubai Kartdrome in downtown Motor City, in the beautiful country of the United Arab Emirates, we have had another truly international fight in the X30 classes, and now we'll finish it on some fun and games. 9 laps around the circuit for the Junior Sodi Cup. A combination of cadets, juniors, and of course, arrive and drive specialists around the circuit of Dubai Kartdrome. And it looks to me as though we're going to have one brilliant final play to finish us off, which really captures the essence of the Dubai O-Plate as an event. It's not just a great professional motorsporting outing, but it's also huge fun. And it's also a great discipline to get people started in motorsport. These karts, they have an amazing academy here at the Dubai Kartdrome. All you have to do is pop into the race office and come and find out more about it. And who knows, your youngster is going to be the next big champion. A lot of the drivers in the field here today started their karting career at this very circuit. And so there's a great opportunity for them to continue battling away in the final race of the year.
He hasn't got radio, mate. He hasn't got radio.
Time to go racing then in the Sodi Junior Cup as our racers are ready for action. The drivers need to get their visors down. When the green flag drops, they'll be racing. And they are underway now. A fantastic start at the front end of the field from Federico Arafai. Oscar Lambert's going to try and draw up alongside and try and beat him into the first corner. Daniel Kalea's got a good run. Scular's got an absolute flyer and it's going to be 4 wide for third position. And through past all of them is going to be Rylan Ekberg. So they storm through to the first corner. An absolutely terrific getaway. Good fun this race and a real indicative nature of the Dubai O-Plate event. It's not just exciting motorsport, but it's also good fun. Well, a bit too much fun for a couple of drivers on the way out of turn 3. Looks to me like the 26 that is facing the wrong way. That's Rylan Ekberg. Or is it the 28 that's actually facing the wrong way? I think it might be. So there are a couple of drivers out of position already. 2 or 3 of them out of position completely. So 2 karts embedded in the wall at turn 3. It's not started well for either of them. Out in front though, it's an absolute dogfight. 2 or 3 drivers now really starting to wrestle in amongst the leaders. And some very fast moves through the field again. That looks like Yashish Monahar, having made up some amazing places through the early part of the race. Oh, and a spin right in the middle of the S's. Oh, and that's caused panic. The problem is they've all just hit the brake pedal. And you slam on the brakes and that locks things up. So you've just got to be careful to get yourself out of those situations. But the warning flag is out already at the end of the first lap. Out in the front end of the field. That is still, I think, Federico Arafai, who leads the race. Second position for the 23. That is Ekberg. And then, it's Danny Shields. My apologies. Then it is Daniel Kalea from Zach Scular in 5th position from Aidan Rafai. So Aidan Rafai, that is Zain El Hamossani in 7th from Yashish Monahar, right up in 8th from the back. Then Joshua McGregor and William Wade in 10th in front of Ben Wade from Davide Gomozzi, then Bertie Gibbons, Vali Kizabash, Kian Kizabash, then Shania Shayam from Mohamed Enemni, and then it is Connor Clancy from Michael Bashir and Arthur Didonsha. And the guys down at the back, well, it looks as though Rylan Ekberg did get involved in an incident there with Elias Marchand. So there is Rylan Ekberg right at the back of the field. In the mix there with the likes of Elias Marchand and Yusuf Kalbouni missing the start, unfortunately. But Federico Al-Rifai leads the race. In 2nd position, it is still the battle between Danny Shields and Oscar Lambert, then Daniel Kalea and Zach Scular. Aidan Rafai is 6th. Up to 7th is Zain El Hamossani. And then it is Yashish Monahar, who's come from the back of the grid to be in 8th place. Great performance from the youngster. And he's already charging his way forward, picking off a few more drivers. Running very well indeed as they knit their way through the S's. So a few more challenges from a few more of the competitors as they complete the lap. Federico Al-Rifai out in front. His teammate in 2nd place, that is Oscar Lambert. Then Danny Shields. And then we've got Daniel Kalea on his own in 4th position. Then Scular, Rafai and Monahar. Now Monahar is really starting to get on with it. Aidan Rafai on the inside of Zach Scular, and this could be the opportunity for Monahar to make a move on the inside line to try and get into 6th position. He's doing his best, is Yashish Monahar. So he's right up in there on the back of the top 6. So some good battles, some rather exciting duels in the mid-pack as well after all the shenanigans of the first chicane. Several drivers losing ground after having to slam on the brakes to avoid an incident. But under the bridge will come our race leader, which should be Federico Al-Rifai in front of Oscar Lambert. And then in 3rd place, Danny Shields in front of Daniel Kalea. And then a terrific battle for 5th position. Oh my word! 4 or 5 of them in the mix there. Yashish Monahar still trying to get through into 6th position. Hasn't quite made it. And round the outside, we've got 2 or 3 drivers trying to make up some ground. What a squabble this is. Absolutely incredible. We've got the likes of Aidan Rafai from Monahar, El Hamossani and Josh McGregor, with Zach Scular in 5th place, having just got away. So, Yashish Monahar, now he's into 7th place. A good move there from Monahar as he gets through on the inside of El Hamossani, I think it was. So there is Al-Rifai in front of Oscar Lambert, then Danny Shields. In 4th position, it is the 19 of Daniel Kalea from Zach Scular, who is pushing hard there. Aidan Rafai has got into 5th place, in fact, from Zach Scular. Then it is Yashish Monahar in 7th from Zain El Hamossani, Josh McGregor and William Wade as they complete lap 3 out of 9. So that means there is only 6 laps to go in the entire weekend. So out in front it is still Federico Al-Rafai and Oscar Lambert, the 2 XL Motorsport teammates who are just controlling the pace out in front. And they will come off the sweepers on the far side of the course. Ryan Ekberg litting his way back through the field to try and make up some places. Underneath the bridge, and it's close between Al-Rafai and Lambert now. They really are duelling for the lead of the race. 3rd position is still Danny Shields from Calais. Aidan Rafai is 5th. And then there's a bit of a gap back. Scular, the Australian, is there in front of Yashish Monahar. And Yashish Monahar really wants to get a decent finish out of this second race. He's going to climb up the inside of Zach Scular. Zach Scular still holds on to the inside line. Monahar's going to try and get the switch back. And Monahar is going to go through. Nice move there from Yashish Monahar. Into 6th position he goes. So the leaders are coming off the turn into the main straight. Federico Al-Rafai and Oscar Lambert still having a great duel. 3rd place is still Danny Shields in front of Daniel Kalea. And then it is Aidan Rafai in 5th place from Yashish Monahar, who is up into P6. A good drive from Monahar so far. But there is the number 1 in behind. That is Zayn El Hamossani. Now also going in with side by side with Zach Scular. Oh dear, not a lot of space between those two. And they just about get away without drama there. Zach Scular is having a great battle with Yashish Monahar. El Hamossani tries to get on the inside of the Australian and doesn't make it stick. It's a very tough race so far. Still they battle on. Whoa, a bit of a spin in the chicane there. That is a bit of a wayward moment for the 20 of Connor Collins. So Collins gets it going again, but it was a little bit wayward. Meanwhile, the leaders are lapping traffic. So Al-Rafai and Lambert managed to get separated a little bit. Oscar Lambert is still the fastest man on track though. But in 3rd place, Danny Shields will have found some space to catch up. Yashish Monahar is in 6th place, trying to close up on the man in 5th, which is Aidan Rafai. It's a good comeback from last place though. On the starting grid, Yashish Monahar right down to the back end, and now managing to come through in a fantastic 6th position at the moment. Still a long way to go. Al-Rafai and Lambert still battling away. Is that Lambert leading now? It is Lambert leading now. Al-Rafai must have got held up behind a back marker. So Lambert is now your leader. Oscar Lambert in front of Al-Rafai. Then Danny Shields and Daniel Kalea. Then it is Aidan Rafai and Yashish Monahar. And Yashish Monahar in the number 15 cart is trying to close up on the top 5. So it's been a very good performance so far as the drivers continue to battle away. But it will be a really strong challenge from the competitors as they run forward. So as they come through the S's, a really strong run from them. Down the drop it will go, and there is the battle for the lead coming up towards us now. And it will be these two still challenging away, Lambert and Al-Rafai. They are still very close. Danny Shields in 3rd position. There is Lambert in front of Federico Al-Rafai into the S's. Danny Shields is there in 3rd. On his own now. Daniel Kalea is close, but not close enough. And it looks like we're going to get a lead battle. Lambert and Al-Rafai very close together. Oscar Lambert leads the race in front of Federico Al-Rafai for the moment. But is Al-Rafai going to make the move into the inside line? Yes, he does. He goes for the move, and Al-Rafai is in the lead. So Federico Al-Rafai gets a second lead of the race. That's the second time he's been in front. The yellow flags are flying. The blue flags, I should say, are flying down the main straight. A couple of slower carts. Al-Rafai and Lambert are just going to sweep by, and they're going to go onto the inside line. Lambert very nearly decided to go onto the left side, where there was barely any space at all. Danny Shields out in front of Kalea and Rafai, and then it's a terrific scrap between Yashish Monahar. The 20 is in the mix there. That's Connor Collins. Collins really needs to get out of the way and has done so now. But Zach Scular is going to have a run on the inside of Yashish Monahar, and there's contact. Monahar is very angry about that one. Scular and Monahar looking like they got a little bit too close together. Monahar looks very annoyed at the way things have gone there. Zach Scular, I couldn't tell whether there was actually a bit of an issue between those two, but certainly Monahar. Oh, and Al-Rafai still battling away with Lambert. So Federico Al-Rafai and Oscar Lambert having a terrific duel. 3rd position there. Oh, a nice move around the outside from Danny Shields, and that shakes off Kelleher and Aidan Rafai for the moment. As Zach Scular now runs in 6th position. But Yashish Monahar has had to recover after his little faux pas. He's dropped down into about 10th position, I think, but he's still there or thereabouts. I think he dropped in behind Josh McGregor. But Federico Al Rifai and Oscar Lambert are still having a terrific duel. Al Rifai just in front of Lambert as they try and sweep past the number 12 of Vali Kizilbash. But Vali Kizilbash is not doing many favours to help them out. Aidan Rifai is now caught up to Daniel Kelleher in the battle for fourth place, and he's going to sweep by on the inside. A nice move at turn one, and that's Kelleher defeated for the moment, unless a little bit too late on the brakes, is it? No, it looks fine to me. Yashish Monahar shaking his head down the main straight. He seems very irritated at the way the last lap played out, but he's there in 10th position still. 11th place, in fact, behind Josh McGregor. As they go into the penultimate lap, Federico Al Rifai and Oscar Lambert still having a great duel as they battle away for the race victory. And it's Lambert up the inside into the chicane. Oh, not a lot of space for negotiation. But Federico Al Rifai and Oscar Lambert are going to continue their duel. Meanwhile, Daniel Calais is having a great race with Aidan Rifai as they duel over fourth place. Rifai doesn't seem too happy. And it looks to me as though Zach Skoular has just been able to get past some traffic. Zayn El Hamossani is in 7th place in front of William Wade, Benjamin Wade and Josh McGregor. Then it is Yashish Monahar in 11th position. 12th is Bertie Gibbons from Galmotzi. And then it's Ekberg, Enemne, then Marchand, Clancy, Dodonsha, Kizilbash, that's Kiad Kizilbash, then Cheyenne, Valley Kizilbash, Bashir, Collins, Singh, Smith and Calbonet not starting, of course, but still Al Rifai and Lambert going into the last lap. They will battle for the victory. And Al Rifai running a little bit deep. Lambert going well as well. They continue to come through. So a big battle. Yellow flags. Yellow flags. We've had a spin there just in front of Danny Shields, Daniel Kalea and Aidan Rifai. It wasn't any of the three that spun, but that's definitely held them all up. So now there's going to be a really titanic scrap as they go into the last few corners of the race. It'll be a very interesting and exciting fight. But the battle to continue, and here come the leaders. It is Federico Al Rifai and Oscar Lambert still battling with each other for the last race, the last lap of the day. Oscar Lambert closing in on Federico Al Rifai. Can he get the move on him? He's only a couple of kart lengths back, but that's still quite a sizable gap under the circumstances. Daniel Kalea gets through on the back marker. Oh, Aidan Rifai gets held up, and he's not happy about that. He's going to have to remain in 5th position. But the leaders are going down the back straight, and it looks to me as though it's going to be Federico Al Rifai that makes it 2 wins out of 2, and that will make him the undisputed Junior Sodi race winner from today here in the O-Plate. Out of the final turn, Federico Al Rifai. He's going to battle to the line, but he's going to get the win in front of Oscar Lambert. Brilliant race from Federico Al Rifai. 2 from 2. Lambert is second, and Danny Shields is going to keep it in the Ambition Motorsport stable for 3rd position. Great result for Danny Shields. 4th place is Daniel Kelleher, and then it is Aidan Rifai from Zach Skoular, who will come home in 6th position again. A great result for Zach Skoular. 7th for William Wade in front of Joshua McGregor. A great fight back from Yashish Monahar to be 9th in the end in front of Josh McGregor and Benjamin Wade, I think it is. No, sorry. Yashish Monahar was 8th in the end. Bertie Gibbons in 9th place from Josh McGregor. And then it is the 25, I think, that is next through. Well, we're still waiting for Wade and El Hamossani. I wonder if they had an incident somewhere. Benjamin Wade is through in 11th place in the end of the 27. Then it is the 26 of Ekberg, in behind Zayn El Hamossani and David Golmotzi, I believe, unless there was an incident between those two on the last lap. But good fun in the end for Federico Al Rifai. He takes the win in front of Oscar Lambert. We've had an amazing weekend at the Dubai Kartdrome and the Dubai O-Plate. It's been wonderful fun. Hopefully we will return to the action again very soon indeed. If you're listening via Downforce Radio, our next broadcast is going to come from the IAMI Euro Series paddock and the Winter Cup at Valencia in 3 weeks' time. We can't wait to be there for that. A massive thank you to everybody at Dubai Kartdrome and the Autodrome next door, of course, to IAMI UAE, to the Rag Track, to Tag Heuer, to Motorscape, to everybody who has been involved. It's been a wonderful, wonderful race weekend, and it's been a privilege to return to the United Arab Emirates for the 2nd year in a row. Can I do a hat-trick, please? It would be very nice. Thanks to everyone for being so supportive. A great race weekend, some brilliant champions crowned, and we'll see you again, hopefully, in the United Arab Emirates very soon indeed. Thank you, and a jolly good night to you all.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingham and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Jacques Villeneuve. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Bruno Senna. You're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Chris Hoy, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.